Good evening, Twitch. Good evening, Internet. Hello to everyone listening on the podcast. This is Malt and Magic and episode 63 of the Forgotten Kingdom of Nylin. We are back almost with a full roster. Still feeling some effects of illnesses last week and overwork, but yeah, you'll notice one of our party is missing for the next 2 weeks, taking a well-deserved holiday. So we won't have Kirek, we won't have Samal for the next 2 weeks, so we will deal with that in game. But before we get to that, let's go through our usual thank yous to Albo Radio and Incarnate for mapping and tabletop, to D&D Beyond for everything Dungeons and Dragons, to Hero Forge for that character creation, token generation, scene generation. Now, if anybody's not seen that yet, go check that out, that's cool. Kassoon 5e Magic Shop for just general DM's tools. You can catch those services on Patreon if you want to go check them out. So that's Kassoon and 5e Magic Shop. And then Tabletop Audio, of course, for sort of our sound effects, musical backing tracks, all those good things. But of course, the best sound effects and musical tracks, as always, come from BattleBards. And if you want to get your own sound effects in your home game, then please go use the code MaltandMagic. When you register at BattleBards, I'll get you a nice cheeky discount. You can go have some fun, make your games more immersive, and enjoy. You'll see the links also on the bottom there to our social media channels. Please go check them out. We post all our announcements up there. We've also just recently tweeted and I think put on Instagram about the breakdown of the different arcs. We did our recap last week, which I hope you all enjoyed. Dave and I certainly thoroughly enjoyed going through that. Didn't expect it to take quite as long as it did, but all good fun. So yeah, you can go get the breakdown of the different story arcs now, pick up on some of those things we may have talked about last week, and hone into the right episode to go and find out where they are and find those magic moments in amongst all those things. I've already talked about the podcast, so please, if you get a chance, go check that out. For anybody listening on the podcast, thank you very much for joining us, and if you do have a chance to leave a review or a rating or a like, those sorts of things, please do. Please help us spread the word of this great little series that we are creating. I say little, 63 episodes is by no means a mere feat there, or anything little. So yes, and don't forget, he's not here, but I will still do the shout out. Please do not forget to go check out Tales of Tilnar on YouTube, which is our sister stream, unofficial sister stream also, but that is the campaign that Samal is Dungeon Master for, and they just have a lot of crazy fun. There's a lot of serious moments, don't get me wrong, but there's just some awesome epic moments in there as well. Great to get Samal's style of DMing and sort of understand that as well. So go check them out. Of course, I also need to shout out about our running contest. So we are still actively chasing 50 followers. We are so close now, like within touching distance. So please don't forget to follow if you are watching on Twitch and you haven't already. So like, subscribe, all those good things, and follow. When we hit 50 followers, we will all pick from that pool, the group of us, and choose one lucky follower to create an NPC alongside myself to then feature in our game, hopefully in Campaign 1 if we get there in time, but if not, Campaign 2. And we will make sure we get you and a little bit of your personality inside our game for you to enjoy and for everybody watching to enjoy and our players to enjoy interacting with. And I think that's it for the intros, really. So, my usual warnings apply. There will most certainly be adult language and probably a lot of adult humour, or maybe not as much as before. We'll see how the boys are feeling. But yeah, let's roll.
Hello.
And it's back.
Hey, it is back. There we go. We almost have a full roster.
Look at that smexy image. Smexy.
Yeah, Hero Forge has just taken it to a new level every time. So
Yeah,
As I say, check out-
going back to those scenes. Oh my god, that was nice.
as
that
I
ended
said
up
in
on
our
our
chat, I am
socials?
fully planning. It got posted on the socials. I am fully planning to use that for our YouTube video covers going forward.
Oh yeah.
So I will. I'll create a new one every week.
No
Just to keep
pressure.
people interested. So yeah, no pressure. So I know it's been a time. Well, been a couple of weeks since we were all together. So let's go down the lineup. I am Matt. I am the Dungeon Master. I was play the sidekick character of Bothrid and NPCs, monsters, all those good things.
I am so happy to be back after my COVID stint, full disclosure, and I will be playing Ander Hornraven, and you cannot believe how happy I am to do so, but just to make sure real life merges into game, and Ander might have a cough this week.
That's all good. It's all
I'm
good.
smart. I'm on a beach. I play Kirek.
Yes,
so now
Samau
it's
is
another
taking a well-deserved and long overdue holiday, so he will not be with us this week, or at least not in person. He will still feature in our game, or Kirek will still feature in our game, at least at the beginning. We'll see what happens there.
I think he's also
But
featuring
yeah.
in our chat at this very moment, which is also
Yes,
very
I
nice
have
to see
seen
him there.
him pop up, so hello Samau. Enjoy the show.
He's getting killed
It's
off
weird
this week,
sitting on the
isn't
other
it?
side, is
Won't
all I'll
tell
say.
him.
I bet it is. I'm Dave. I play Dargon the Goliath Fighter Warlock, and I am looking forward to tonight after 2 weeks off. Good fun. Or a week off, or whatever it was.
Indeed. So, going back to 2 weeks ago, pre-recap, and if you've not caught the recap episode, please go catch that. That'll get you fully caught up to where we are right now.
Far more content than we thought was going to come out of that, and it's really good fun.
There's far more happened than we realised, I think, is brutally the honesty there. But going back to 2 weeks ago, as we finally defeated the last of the Mind Flayer overlords and retrieved the final key, the whole cavern began to shake and crumble around you. You sort of very quickly understanding that whatever magic was holding this place up and holding the mines open was very, very quickly deteriorating, and you had to get out there very quickly. And there was some very clutch moments with a dimension door all the way from one side of the room to the actual door itself. There were some wings that popped out of certain creatures and NPCs and just bombed it across gaps with no floor. And then Dargon just about made it across. In a moment of, oh shit, I've just missed that, but I'm going to climb up it. Anyway, we got there in the end. You all pretty much barreled through this portal that was created when the 3 keys were unlocked, or the 3 locks were unlocked using those keys in unison. And then you found yourself in this very icy, very snowy terrain. This basically looks like some form of ruin. And there was a throne, broken throne at one end of this room. The walls sort of veined with icy tendrils, snow on the ground, and that bitter cold, natural cold we did figure out. And where the portal had been, there is now just these large wooden doors, very large wooden doors. And you were having a chat, deciding maybe now's the time to rest. Ander himself feeling a little bit under the weather. Everything's starting to catch up with him a little bit. I've got you covered. Kirek in that moment concentrates on his armour. Concentrates on that feeling that he can sometimes get. Searching, seeking for any silver dragons around. And in that moment, as we revealed 2 weeks ago, he felt a silver dragon. Not miles away, but mere feet away. And with that feeling, he turns to you both and says, guys, we're not alone. As Ander flicks his hood up and goes invisible, Dargon, you draw Timiel's Wrath. And this is where we begin tonight's episode. As Remley jumps up at the sight of Ander going invisible and Dargon drawing his sword. What? What's going on? More enemies.
Yeah, I assume so. Where? Kirek? I start looking around the room. Do I see anyone other than us there?
Make me a perception check, please.
2 weeks off and I can't remember what I'm doing here. Perception check.
I totally got Remley's voice wrong, so don't worry. That's what happened.
Is he a Scouser now, is it?
No. You ain't, mate.
You ain't. 11.
11. Apart from yourselves, Remley, Gindris, and Bothrid, the room itself is empty. It's very quiet. You can hear the wind or the air sort of blowing through the ruins. There is like a partial roof above you. Still daylight from what you can tell, but you're alone.
Is the throne? Is the back of the chair facing us, or the front of the chair, so I can see it's an empty
From where
throne?
you are, sort of right at the far end of this room where the doors are, you're basically just falling through the doors. The throne is at the other end, so you can actually see the front of it, or what would be the front of it. It's basically crumbled. There's only half of it left.
Think last episode of Game of Thrones. Simple.
Yes. This
Fair?
current episode will be more fun. It won't be as disappointing as the last episode of Game of Thrones.
No, hopefully not.
Obviously, we'll let the viewers decide. So
Nobody stab Kirek.
I'll go up to Kirek. Spoiler alert, and I will whisper. What do you mean we're not alone?
Kirek sort of looks around and there's a dragon somewhere.
Can I also talk to Timuel's Wrath and ask? There's someone here. I can't. I don't know where they are. Can you hear or see anyone?
There's a moment and you can feel her perceiving the room around you. I sense just the 6 of you.
Thinking about it, knowing Kirek can sense dragons, and knowing that our draconic bloodline fella, Remley, I nearly did a Dave then and called him Grimley.
Apart from the fact it's not Remley, it's Gindris, but apart from that.
Fucking
It
hell.
is.
I will pull my hood
It's
down.
fine. We've had a week off. We're all good.
I will pull my hood down and I will go, Gindris, I think you're the one setting off Kirek's radar.
Sorry, setting up. What is a radar?
Oh, that's a thieves' cant for detection device. Sorry.
It's going in the book.
It's going in the book.
Kirek, if you say we're not alone, but there's only the 6 of us here, would you care to elaborate?
Sure. There's a silver dragon nearby.
Oh, so outside this room? I'll look up immediately.
Maybe. But I don't think so. Unless it's on the other side of the door.
I'll look at Gindris as if to say, are you going to tell him or am I?
And Gindris is going to take a moment and he brings his hands up. Well, I suppose it is about time. We have been far together. Simar, you can't put things like that in the chat when I'm mid-RP, man.
Mic drop.
For anybody listening or not seeing the chat because they're watching on YouTube, I've just got a note from Simar saying, solid impression, Matt. Thank you very much. Back in the room. I'd never make it as an actor, would I? So Gindris sort of ponders for a moment and walks up to the throne and then... Well... Yes. Although I've not taken this form in some time. And there is sort of the briefest stir of icy wind that goes around Gindris's form, and you can see Gindris himself begin to roll forward almost as his hands touch the floor and the spine elongates. These nubs appear on the back. As the body grows and grows, the neck elongates. Part of the backside extends as this tail begins to whip out, and this huge silver dragon, gargantuan silver dragon, fills this hall. And the hall is big. And this giant silver maw now leans down to you all.
I suppose this is more fitting then.
Oh,
Well,
I
fuck
still wasn't
me.
expecting that.
Jesus Christ. Whoever that is.
I thought. So, oh, hang on a minute. So, draconic bloodline or just a dragon? I think I've answered my own question by the fact that.
Yeah, and yeah, I think you have. Look at that. I mean, wow, Gindris. That's is that your real name, Gindris?
Yes. I have been known by many. Gindris, the mysterious one, the silver gift, and the silver mystery.
Forgive me, but why were you hiding?
Takes a moment and he looks down towards Remley. And you can see Remley, whose eyes are wide and actually looks like he's shaking slightly. But he is squared up, stood in front of Gindris in dragon form, shield and hammer out.
You know the secret now.
There's something just shifts in my room. Ignore me there.
Does Remley got it right? Hopefully. Does he? Right. Does he? So is he looking like damn, you guys know now, or is he also like, oh shit, I didn't know?
He stood in front of the dragon, if that answers your question. And
But
there's
is
a
he
look
squaring
of-
up against the
he's
dragon,
looking-
or more
No,
against
he's
us?
squaring up against you.
Okay. Yeah. Seems like we do. But forgive
will you
me,
do?
we still don't mean you as any harm as we did a minute ago. Just
I mean, it's nice to meet a dragon that's not trying to kill me, to be honest.
yeah, you've got to bear in mind, guys. The last time we went up against a dragon, it was undead and yeah, wanted to kill us. So just give us a
Do
minute to
not
process.
face a dragon. You faced an abomination.
Well, yeah, that's another thing. Another way of calling it.
Fair point, yeah. Does this mean that we walked all of that way and we could have just had a little ride on you and saved us all some time?
I am not a pack horse and a horn raven. I have seen and heard and witnessed things you cannot imagine.
Oh, you're a lot more civil in elf form, I must say.
Yes, he was certainly one of the civilized ones. When I knew
Hang on, so are you
What?
and Gindris not the same person?
I am Gindris. The form I take in Havelven is a long dead friend of mine.
Oh, as in you kind of like imitate him.
It is a disguise to protect me and to protect Remley.
If I may say, fucking good one.
So, Remley, are you now going to turn into like a wyvern or the Loch Ness Monster or something? Is there any more surprises? We need to get everything out on the table now, I think. Is the right time.
By the way, guys, I turn into a bear on occasion. So just saying, not as impressive. Never mind. Moving on.
And I turn into a
Turn into
floozy
a-
after 3 whiskies. So, we've got everything out on the table now.
Remley's going to look at you and say, I turn into nothing. When I can get the accent right. Start again.
I turn into nothing. I am but his protector. My
Yeah.
clan have always protected him.
Ah.
Long may we do so.
Tell me, are there dragons about in this region? Is this where you're from? Oh, please don't tell me this is your throne room.
Good question.
No. But I have visited here before, a long time ago. Before the fall, before the desolation.
So could you tell us where we are then?
Have you not yet figured that out? We were traveling north. We are in a castle hall.
Yeah, right. That's a very good point. Back to where the fuck we are and what we're doing. Gindris, are you going to stick like that, or are you going to resume a different form, just out of interest? Don't mind either way. Just, you might struggle to get through doors.
For safety, I think the half-elf.
And Gindris his form begins to shrink and pop, and bones begin to sort of slide and back into place as then the half-elf stands there once more. But where there was that almost sense of distance before, there is now a fierce intelligence to Gindris and his demeanour.
I trust, boys, that we do not need to discuss any more on this matter.
I sheathed Timiel's wrath, walked forwards, and held out my hand. A handshake.
And Gindris sort of reaches out.
It's a pleasure.
Now you know me, and I know you.
Indeed.
Forgive us for the, for the mystery, I suppose. It is my nature, hence my many names, but it is also for my protection. There are few of us left these days.
Yeah, let's keep everyone protected.
So,
I'm sure the
following
other two
your
are going to have
point,
many a
Dargo,
question.
On where are we and what do we do now? If we are in the Great Castle Hall of Shiverspire, I'd like to remind you of the joint dream we had, where we know below here is that powerful orb.
Powerful orb?
Yeah, we had a dream. Yeah, sorry, we've been keeping a couple of bits from you. We all are aware of a powerful orb of magical energy of some kind hiding beneath Shiverspire, which we think we have need of or need to get to, or is the reason why we're here. Not a fucking clue what it is after that. So we need to go find it, and it's either good or bad for us. Probably both.
If it was in our dream, it's probably bad.
I do not remember any. But maybe. Well.
In our dream, did it look like it was in a formed and built room, or a cave of natural generation?
So in the dream, it looked like it was definitely in a constructed room.
Yeah.
But it was dark, apart from the light from the orb itself.
Yeah.
What did this orb look like?
Well, like a magical orb, big. I forget the colour, but
Yeah.
we have seen one before. Yeah, kind of. We saw a. It was a. And was it like a soul or a being trapped in
Soul
a?
Forge.
Yeah, soul forge. That was the word. So I think it looks similar to that,
Forge.
maybe a bit bigger.
Soul Forge.
Yeah, kind of holding someone's being where they shouldn't, where they should have passed on. A powerful mage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
River's End.
Oh, sorry, I said cage.
Not a cage. Wow.
Although he was trapped inside it, but that was because he just needed a body to inhabit rather than.
Yeah, it was also. Can you call it a cage if they wanted to be there? Well, not wanted to always be there, but they intentionally put themselves there. Or did he?
Yeah.
Did he fuck that up?
Well,
I
like
can't
a chimney
remember.
in a lamp, I suppose.
Now this reference I understand. Although many genies do not take refuge in lamps, you should remember that.
Well, yeah. Well, you've also got a silver dragon taking refuge in a half elf, but yeah, we won't keep saying that. Anyway,
Yes, let's move on, and if you wouldn't mind, let's keep
As-
amongst ourselves.
as the roof of this seems to be blown off, no one's come bursting in here yet, and it would be unwise for any large flying creature to go and scout. May I posit that I send a faithful guardian of mine to go and search around outside? Anyone against that
Will
idea?
they survive in extreme cold? Beyond these walls, it is, well, I imagine it is dangerous.
They're a celestial being sent on my patron's behalf.
In which case, yes, okay.
Right, let's give it a whirl. I will summon Azazel.
Okay. And this sort of golden light, the great grey owl appears on your arm.
Hey, Azazel. Yeah, been a while. We were underground. You wouldn't have liked it. Look, we're, see that hole in the roof? You want to go and search around, see what you see? I'll look in on you, and when you see stuff, or once you've done a perimeter, come back. Cheers.
And Azazel is going to nip your finger a little bit indignantly, and then it's just going to launch and woof, and swoop up through the ceiling. And you notice as Azazel sort of spirals up, just as he passes beyond the roof, he gets buffeted away, as there's clearly stronger winds outside this room. But he does right himself, and now your eyes bleed to sort of gold as you see through the eyes of your owl familiar. You see a very strange and malevolent looking landscape, to be totally honest. It is snowbanks and snow drifts, and occasionally just what looks like a ruin jutting out. As Azazel sort of climbs higher and now comes around, you can see the remnants of what was clearly once a great dwarven city, but is now nothing but ruin, snow, ice. There is very little left here apart from really this central keep. And as Azazel looks down, you can see the room where you're all currently stood, and how this sort of opens out into, there are a few other areas of the keep. Looks like there's at least one still standing tower. Most of the roofs are all caved in. You can see old dwarven houses caved in. It's just destroyed.
Is there anything attached to the large room that we're in? Any towers? Any other sort of particular
there is
buildings?
there's that one
Yeah,
tower
just
that
one
still
tower.
stands, which
Yeah.
is just off sort of a corridor, if you like. But the rest seems to be buried in the snow.
It's a fucking ruin, guys. It's horrible out there. If I understand it
Yes,
correctly, it's dwarven in nature. But I'm sorry, mate. It's well fucked.
Oh, I am well aware. Shiver's
You
father
you
fell many, many years ago.
you sure that's where we are? Yeah.
Well, I think that kinda settles it.
And behind the throne, you can see, now that you focus in on it and now Remley sort of directs your attention to, there is this sort of huge great stone, I forget the term now, stone relief, that's the word I'm looking for, thank you. And there is a dwarven head in it, and at the top it just sort of says the throne of Shiverspire in Dwarvish, which Remley translates for you.
I think that's pretty clear cut.
If I can remember my dream correctly, the orb we're looking for is underneath the tower. That tower seems to still be somewhat standing. If we can get to that, maybe you've got a way down.
So, looking around the room, the only way out is technically the door we've just come in through. That hopefully isn't a portal anymore.
Let's hope so. But wow, the thing is that not going to be outside? To go outside?
So, if the tower's attached to this room, you say?
Was it? What is that? What I saw from Azazel's eyes?
Yeah. Yeah.
At those double doors, or to one side, or something?
You could work it out that actually it looks like the corridor sort of bends around the room, and then the tower is almost in sort of line with the throne itself. You have to walk around outside and around this room along a ruined corridor to get there.
I'd explain that then to the party.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully as Azazel comes back, I'll also perch him on my shoulder and go, stick with us for now. Any trouble, fly out the way. But let's keep you around for now, eh?
And Azazel's head just sort of twists all the way around, as owls' heads do, just sort of looking around. Kirek in this moment is then, don't know about you, but I'm pretty tapped. Shall we rest? I think that was the plan.
Do you know what? It's not a bad idea. I don't think we should.
It's the safest place as any, I suppose.
Yeah. I'll be the first to say that maybe not fire. And now that you guys may be quite cold, but I think we have to live through it, guys. I think a fire might be quite obvious here.
Okay, I've got my furs.
Yeah. I'm going to take first watch.
I won't argue with that.
Might I suggest that I take first watch? I have little need to sleep right now.
Oh yeah, by all means, yeah, yeah. Thank you,
Some
by the
rest,
way.
boys. You have protected me thus far. It's only fair, I suppose.
Let's hope we can protect each other. Where are we going?
Indeed.
Bye, and Kirek, you get yourself to sleep. Get yourself to bed.
Actually, Kirek, if you don't mind, I would like a brief moment.
I will take the iron stone down from spinning around my head, so I've just remembered that's still spinning around my head. Put that back, and I will get my head down.
I'm going to, if I may, if this wouldn't cut into the long rest, but can I read like 1 hour of my book?
Absolutely.
I'll read one army book then.
Good stuff. Gindris is gonna then, as Bothridge just goes and gets his head down, Remley also does the same. Gindris is going to turn to Kirek at this point and sort of touch the silver scale armour that Kirek wears.
I do believe I gifted this once. A great warrior. I'm glad to see it has made its way into, well, the arms of another. Strange how decisions you make long ago can, well, ripple us into the future. And with that I have something of a proposition for you, Kirek. It seems you have a foe to defeat, and a foe you are anxious to defeat. Before the desolation, there was once a very, very vast and great library, held within a monastery. I get the feeling you've been there before. If you wish to understand her, then perhaps I have enough power to send you where you need to go, especially in this place where raw power seems to lie, and I think that has something to do with this dream. What I mean to say is, I can send you somewhere for a time to study, to understand, and to come back armed with knowledge on how to do what your heart desires most. And Kirek takes a moment and sort of does his side-eye peer. Sure, so I mean, you mean Zapnir, and I did study at a monastery before coming here. How are you going to send me there? And this is really weird RPing with myself. But Gindris is then going to sort of... Well, there are two things. The first of which is time, the second of which is space. Or distance, if you like. I'm going to send you back. Perhaps 10 years. I think that should be enough. And then... Well, yes. To the land of Enoeth. Which I sense on you still. Well, boy?
And you see Kirek go quiet for a moment. And there's conflict on his face. And there's conflict you don't see very often on Kirek's face. He's usually very sure of his actions, usually quite direct in what he wants to do and how he wants to do it. For the first time, and you know that sort of in your dealings with Kirek that he is originally from the land of Enoeth. And Kirek takes a moment. "10 years. Okay." And Kirek then sort of turns the two of you as Dargan, you're reading your book, and Andy, you're just settling down. Promise you won't do anything stupid while I'm away.
I mean, no, of course I won't.
I'll I'll keep a close eye on him. More precisely, you stay safe as well. When you've gone off on yourself, you've given us quite a scare. So you be careful too.
This feels a bit different.
Yeah. But all the same, look after yourself. See you soon.
Bothrid, watch them. And Bothrid's just gonna sort of half awake, just sort of stick a thumb up.
Which is offensive
And
in
then
our
his eyes
culture,
open.
and Kirek hits him.
He looks. His eyes open, and then he does look deeply into Kirek. You safe? Well, miss you while you are gone. But sound important.
Let's just all try not to die, okay?
This
We've all done it too many
sounds
times
like
already.
Good idea.
I'll turn to Gindris momentarily. I know what I'm about to say is relative, but it is safe what you're going to do with him, yeah?
Well, I think so. We are in a. Well, can you not feel it? There is a raw power here.
I feel that's what we're looking for. As long as that's going to help.
Yes, that would make sense, I suppose. Would explain why this, well, why people settled here in the first place, I imagine. Power instantly attracts folk.
I hadn't thought of that. That's a good one. But anyway, look. Gindris, as long as this is as safe as we are, and Kirek, look after yourself.
Okay. So Gindris turns to Kirek. Well, I'm ready now, if you are. No time like the present. Well, saying that, you're going to... Let's not dive into that can of worms. That could get quite... Anyway, if you're ready, I think I can perhaps make use of this door. And Kirek's gonna sort of heft his shield, grab hold of that, gonna sort of place a hand on Dargon's shoulder, and then a hand on Anders' head, and a hand on Bothrid's head before he turns to Gindris then. Okay. And Gindris is gonna walk up, and you would notice as he turns to the door, the eyes just bleed into their draconic form. And he breathes on the door, and as he breathes on the door, there is this icy mist that slowly grows and grows and grows around the door. And then the draconic eyes close and open again as Gindris just flicks this sheet of solid ice that cracks inward, and almost in the form of like a singularity, you just, and this portal now opens up. Make me a perception check, please.
Ooh,
First roll of the night.
17.
29.
Fuck me.
You see the
Dargon, as you
Matrix.
look, you would see flashes of events that you've already participated in. Like, you see the ruins of Ixalion, you see Vertigal, you see vampires. It's almost like just this mess of time in one big portal. And your perception is that good that you not only see these images, but you also see battlefields with devils and what look like angels. You see metallic form humanoids. You also see 3 figures that look distinctly familiar, one of which almost resembles you exactly. You see a 4th figure, older, but also looking very similar to you. You see a great throne with 3 smaller thrones either side of it, sort of around it, and a great hall. And in that moment, Kirek's going to turn to you all, give you a half smile, and he's going to step through. And as he steps through, all of those images just sort of flash and shrink down until there's a tiny, tiny mote of light. And then it is gone. And it's almost like snow just begins to fall where that portal once was.
Great Scott!
Kirek had to run at the door at 88 miles an hour.
1.21 gigawatts! That's all those jokes out of the way. There we go. We got it out of
Indeed. Gindris is going to turn. Well, I think it worked. Enjoy your rest, boys. I will wake one of you when I think it is time for someone else to... Well, you know what? Just get some sleep. I'll see you in the morning.
If you don't mind, at the very least, wake Bothrid up just before. He might be able to do some grub. Nighty night all.
Good night.
Dargon's going to take out a cigar and pop it in his mouth, but then not light it. Just have that little bit of familiarity, but realising that it's a bad idea to light one right now.
Okay. And are you doing anything particular, or are you just going straight to sleep?
Just going to go straight to sleep. Be too cold to do anything else for me.
Excellent.
I think
And
you
do feel the
mentioned.
chill.
As I was say, I think you mentioned in the last one that and you've intimated it here. Whilst we're certainly in this room, don't know anything about outside. Is Dargon okay? Like, just not feeling the cold, really?
Dargon would recognise the cold. It's a familiar cold.
Yes, but
It's
not that magical cold we felt.
It's not the unnatural cold
many
that you
months ago,
felt
yeah.
when you were down in Ixalian. It's very much that cold of a far reaches of an environment.
Yeah.
You're in the extremes now.
Sweet. Yeah, so after reading my book and everything, I will pop to sleep.
I think seeing Ander sort of shiver a little bit, Bothrid would slide in a bit closer and sort of share what cloaks and warmth he can without it being kinky, because I know what Ander's like.
I was going to say, I'm happy being Little Spoon.
And the 3 of you begin to sleep. And Remley takes a final look at Gindris, smiles and nods, and he too just slumps down and sleeps. So we can all have a long rest. As I go digging out my other characters. For anybody that didn't count Malt Magic and More after episode 62, everybody has also leveled up.
Yay! Level 13! Now, one important note will be the fact that as Kirek is no longer here, we will not get aid back, so...
Nope.
No, so aid is
79
gone.
HP for me. And that's with leveled up HP as well.
79.
Right?
Bothrid didn't get aid in the first place.
So he's 144, yeah?
Should still be 144.
That puts me on 156.
Kirek's on 113.
Oh, here's a question. So although it's a long rest, have we had a new dawn, just for the purposes of charges of my magic cloak?
We will find out. Anyway.
That's a good point.
That's
I
not
need
helpful.
to just keep an eye out on.
I'll leave the boxes ticked.
Yeah, just where's mine? Where's mine? That one there. That one's okay.
Just
and what
while we're all
about?
sorting that out.
Okay, yeah. I'll keep an eye on that one.
156, Dave. Jesus Christ.
I'm
That is
amazed that
literally
Buffett's
nearly
apparently on
double my
14 out of
HP.
144.
That, well, because I've got to change the title size, because it's hidden.
That's all
so
good.
Let's go to his.
And
That's resilient
Mertha in the
death.
chat raises a very valid point. This is where I definitely need an encounter, because if I roll a nat 20, it's all fun and games for me.
Thanks,
Oh,
Mertha.
shit.
There's 144.
Good
I
stuff.
know I
So,
accidentally
as
banned
we
it from
are...
the chat one time, but I might do it for real now.
We leave our
I forgot
followers.
about that.
We leave our followers alone. Especially our regular fans, we love them. So, as you all sleep in this distinctly powerful place, and you all can now, as you sort of settle down and think on what Gindris has said, and before you fall asleep, you do feel the raw energy that seems to just buzz in the air. It's like that feeling before a storm. It's just that energy in the air.
Feel free to give us a recount of that dream, by the way, while we're so close. I'm more than happy for that to happen.
Not that dream, but you do begin to dream.
Uh-oh.
And again, you all collectively dream. I say you all, the two of you collectively dream together. And it's a very murky dream to begin with. It's just sort of lights and sounds and shapes and colours, but eventually it begins to settle. And I need to roll a dice.
Oh no!
Okay. As this dream begins to settle, you see a great stone keep before you with gemstones and polished metal, and a bustling city of dwarves that bear a couple of insignia on armour, on shields, on talismans, amulets, just different things they wear. And you also see what looks like a temple off in the distance as well. And you recognise the familiar symbol of Moradin. There is also another symbol which you have not yet seen, and then there is a third symbol of what looks like a symbol similar to the Cooper. And then, as you are sort of watching this area from a distance, it's almost like you're floating above the city, there is just this repeated icy blast as people begin to scatter and run. And then you notice as certain individuals turn, and there are spells thrown in the air, there are javelins thrown, there's weapons and ballista that fire, trebuchet that sort of launch these huge great rocks. And again, these icy blasts just... And then one icy blast just sort of whites out your vision. And the vision settles as you see a landscape scattered with bodies that are now blue and frozen, towers that are fallen and crumbled, buildings that are destroyed, but just huge great spikes of ice now stand where these buildings once were. And then you see this almost like a hole in the floor. And down, 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 you can see the small glow of this orb. It crackles. And you do see two white dragons approaching the hole, as then this purple energy just lances out, and the dragons flap and flap as the energy again, and almost like a shockwave, just levels what's left of the buildings in the immediate vicinity, and then the land around it begins to crumble and fall in and sort of close off this hole. As the dragons just fly up and retreat and retreat, and they begin to fly off into the distance. One turns its head and piercing blue eyes look back, almost as if there's unfinished business there. And they disappear off into the horizon. So we then wake up to find Gindris sat, and Bothriad has got a small, tiny little fire going, just trying to cook a few things. Gindris is then going to sort of look at you. Well, wondered if you were ever going to wake up.
And, did you see that too? Fucking bastard.
I suppose you mean the lovely dream we had involving two white dragons, an icy spellbound battle, and some powerful things coming from an orb.
Yeah, that one. DM, did it look anything familiar to the place that I saw from the aerial view of Azazel?
You would be able to discern very similar features, although some of the landscape is different. And you can probably guess why that is now. But yes, some of the area was very, very similar.
I'm not going to lie, and I was kind of worried that we were seeing what was happening over in Mantineer. However, I can report that from my view of Azazel, it looked familiar. Not exact, but kind of similar. So
it appears to be a dream of what happened in the past rather than something that's happening now.
Maybe I'm the optimist here, but I hope so. I am hoping that's the case. But
it wouldn't surprise me if there's another orb somewhere, but it seems to be...
Oh, forgive me, we had that dream where it showed us the important places where possibly other orbs are. Wasn't one Mantineer.
True.
So that is why I put 2 and 2 together to make 7. So, you know, it still worries me that could be the case. However, I'm erring on the side of optimism that is what's happened here, and it's good that these two couldn't get to the orb. The orb protects itself. Now it hasn't hurt us yet. I can only hope that's a good thing.
Hopefully, because it is a power for the good, and it recognises us as powers for good also.
Assuming that those white dragons were bad.
A little bit of the nature of dragons, my friend.
Oh, aye.
Anything that is not metallic is usually a pain in my arse.
There we go. We've got good authority. Those two dragons are dickheads.
Okay.
White dragons are usually, and you have already faced, or at least come into contact with one, but they are very, very quick to rage, and they covet things, covet treasures. I suppose all of us dragons do, really, but I find the treasures to be the people of this world.
Well, I was going to say, because if like that, then Anders the dragon. You know. Sorry, Ender, but you are.
I'm more of a mockingbird. What's it? They don't know magpies. They like shiny things.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, no, that's absolutely point. Anyway, look, just out of interest, the trio of overriding deities of this particular area. I assume one of them was Moradin. There were 2 others, right?
Yes.
Well,
The,
this is a test. There's been
one of the
many
Cooper likes.
deities,
What's it called? What's it called?
Well, I've
There was once.
I've seen that symbol, but I don't know who it was. I don't know who it was.
Make me a religion check, please, both of you.
So weird.
So we
Welcome to religion checks.
Oh,
Wait.
that is a balancing natural 20.
I was happy with my 22.
So that's 21. So
Nice. So
I'm taking it because
both
it's
of you
not
would
cocked.
remember the head of like a platinum dragon. The symbol that you've seen on the Cooper before, and as you remember this, Gindris also says, well, yes, there was Morrigan, and then some, due to the nature of the area, and, well, I have to say myself, actually, supported Bahamut, the platinum dragon.
Ah,
And then,
that was it. The
That's the
Cooper.
one.
well,
Yeah.
there is also, I suppose, the law bearer. The links with, well, the city of Mantineer, as you've said. That is their deity, and I do think that some of their beliefs may have spilled into Shivaspire. Probably through the Great Pass they used to use as their main trade route between the two.
The law bearer, you say?
Yes, the law bearer. If you'd like to make me another... In fact, no, with your religion checks, you've heard of the law bearer before. You vaguely remember the symbol actually looks like a pair of scales in sets on a double-headed axe. And you know, but it sort of clues in the name, but it's the deity of knowledge, but also order and law and the natural way of things. I am going to ask for one more religion check from both of you to see if you remember the name.
Nope, 4.
6.
Lawbearer it is then.
Yep, that'll do. Danny will Google it later.
So,
Tell me what else you saw in this dream. You said dragons.
Do you
Yeah,
think
right,
one of those
two
is actually
dragons.
Zapanir, thinking about it.
I'm thinking one of them was, but we still don't know whether Zapanir was a white dragon, just is a white dragon now. I'm really confused, and I don't want to get a nosebleed, so let's move on.
Let us hope Kirek finds the answers to that question.
God, geez, that legend would be, yes. Well, if he's the man to find it. Anyway, 2 dragons came upon this particular area, which looked like the place we're in now. People were dying. That's what happens with them. But then the orb that we think that we were searching for want of a better word, pushed them back. Shoved them back forcefully. Seemed like it did a bit of damage itself, but it definitely held these 2 dragons off. There was definitely some, what's the word I'm looking for? Some people who were fighting back. Some resistance, that's the one, from the folk who were, unfortunately, not resisting well enough. But they did a valiant job. Some decent arcane magic by the looks of it. Actually, I don't know. I don't know whether it was arcane or not, but it was some decent power. But, seems like if it weren't for the orb protecting itself, it would assume that the dragons would have got what they wanted. Now, I am making the assumption that the dragons wanted the orb. My concern is that the orb is there to protect something else. What do you think?
You say the orb protected itself?
Well, either protected itself or it protected something else. Is it just a barrier, or is it actually the thing that wants to be protected? I'm only saying that because obviously we went up against, what did you call it? A soil fudge? Soul forge, that's the one. Yeah, so it may be that it's sentient. Smart word there, yeah. Or whether it's just naturally protective. Unsure.
I would hazard a guess that the dragons... I'm ignoring the chat. The dragons were drawn here. There is a power.
I think we all just need to take a moment for that.
So I hadn't been reading.
Yeah. Thanks, chat. You're on form tonight. Love you all. Soil Fudge is my next homebrew monster, apparently.
I was very quickly trying to work out how could I fuck up Soulforge.
Determined to derail me tonight, aren't you? Gindris is sort of, I would assume they were drawn here by the power, as I say. Dragons covet, especially white ones, covet rare treasures. And, well, they are nothing but thieves, if you ask me, and downright bastards at that.
So are we sort of going above and beyond the material value of gold and saying that this thing has a particular value? You know?
It is, from what I can feel, raw, unbridled power. Something I have not felt in a very, very long time, if ever.
I may regret this, as I regretted it in the Feywild. But bear with me while I have a quick look. And as Dagon's eyes go a pale gold, he casts Detect Magic.
You would see whereas usually in Nylon there is a rainbow underlying sort of that shimmer effect. This is like an assault on your eyes. There's just colours everywhere, bleeding into each other, forming, unforming.
Now, I had that in Feywild.
Yes.
Any connection, or just in its pure intensity?
Make me an Arcana check, please, sir.
Yeah. 17, not bad.
From what you remember of the Feywild and what you're being told here, you sort of get the assumption that this is just down to that wild, chaotic nature of Nylin, but for some reason it seems to be more concentrated in this particular area. You understood why the Feywild was like that, because it is inherently a place of magic, and the Fey here doesn't quite make as much sense, apart from maybe this, whatever it is Gindris is talking about.
Well, crikey. Ando, if I was very much mistaken, I would say that we're back in the Feywild. If you remember when I nearly blinded myself when I tried this before, down there. It's weird. It's like the Feywild, and yet it's almost exactly like Nylin's always looked, in that background, just dialed up to 24. It's weird.
If this orb is as powerful as we all are starting to think it is it? Could it be the thing that could bring Nylin back to where it belongs?
And remind me, I smoke far too many of these cigars. Burst into light this one, I'm not going to lie. We saw in that other dream, were there more of these? Is that the impression you got? More of these orbs? If there was...
I couldn't say. I didn't get that sort of inclination, to be honest.
Yeah. Personally, I feel like if your hypothesis is right, maybe there are. You know, you know, like 4 wheels on a wagon. You can't just have one wheel carrying the whole thing. If this is meant to be the thing that pulls it back, it would be in the centre. Well, it's not. It's right on the edge. So surely, I say surely, like there's only explanation. There's got to be more of them. And yet it protected itself. Why? Why did it protect itself? I don't think we're going to know the answers until we get down there.
No,
I would only say
something is down there protecting it, even.
Yeah, very true.
Is anyone going to find out?
Yeah, we've got to go. We've got to go. Right, enough chit chat. Are we going to try? Are we assuming that we have any enemies here?
Yes.
Gindris, did you notice or hear anything while we were asleep?
No, just the, well, setting of the sun, and then the rising, and moonlight was very, very difficult to sense. It was very dark.
My worry is... not worry, but I actually disagree with you, Ando. I don't think there's going to be much in the way of enemies here, because I think this thing would protect itself against that. It blasted off 2 massive dragons. My worry is there's more of the kind that mess us up. You know what I mean? Clever doors. Yeah, clever doors. I think we've got a challenge ahead of us.
Without our resident puzzle solver as well.
Yeah.
How convenient.
Let's see how far we get.
Well,
If memory
we'll have
serves...
to try your tactic of just smashing through the doors.
Oh, it was absolutely going to be my first choice, not going to lie.
Let's do it. We'll have it all wrapped up by the end of the episode.
If I quickly look at the door, the double door, the big door, the unity flip, do I see any additional magic on the door itself?
As you look at the door, no. Whatever magic was there is now very much gone.
Well, fingers crossed, and door number 1 is not going to blow us up. However, maybe you need to check whether it's trapped.
Oh, okay.
I could go smashy if you would prefer me to.
I'll have a little look at the door, see if there's any mechanisms or anything that may trigger if we was to open the door. Please?
Make me an investigation check, please.
And as I'm looking up close, I'll use my goggles of minute singing, so I get seeing, even not singing.
Singing.
Well, you're a bard.
Minute singing.
But yeah, as we were chatting the other day, Andrew is now going to cast his magic through interpretive dance.
I'm going to be a stripper. Is, I believe, the word you used.
Nah.
So, an unnatural 20 on your investigation check.
Yes.
You see a very, very simple lock and key mechanism with no key.
And it is locked.
Do you want to try the door?
Yeah.
So as you try the door, does actually, the lock looks like it's unlocked, or it actually feels like it's broken. But as you push on the doors, it's very difficult.
Might need those arms of yours, Dargon.
Yeah, alright. Whereabouts?
Just checking
Centre?
it's just checking it's not a pull door, because you said I pushed on it.
You can kind of, as you pull, the doors actually catch against each other.
Okay. It might be time for smashy.
Very well. Bothrid, give us a hand.
Bothrid will sort of stand up from the breakfast that he has been cooking and the fire sort of doing. He sort of holds up the food and hands it to Remley, and then approaches sort of you and joins you, and you're going to make an assisted strength check, please.
Strength check with advantage?
Yeah, when it's assisted, yeah, absolutely.
Thank God for that. 21.
21. You push and push and push, and the doors budge only ever so slightly. You would now remember, as Azazel was flying around, that the snow around this particular area is very, very built up. It might be that the snow is built up on the other side of the door.
To be fair, guys, pushing real hard here. We're getting somewhere, but yeah, it just feels like a load of dead bodies on the other side. I hazard a guess it's probably piled up snow. Any thoughts?
Do we have to go up and round and clear it from the other side?
Or can I just pull it? And I'll pull.
And as you pull, the doors catch, and you can see the actual mechanism where the hinges are. They are meant to open outwards.
Well, there's no use me going at this with you know, like my great axe or something, because that's not the thing that's stopping it. Anyone can get rid of snow?
No. The only thing I can think of is Bothrid crawls up the wall, up the ceiling, goes out the hole, goes down, and clears it from the outside.
It's an option.
I can, well, I can try.
So Bothrid is going to use one of his wild shapes to turn into... You know what's coming.
Yeah, Anders already closed his eyes.
Yeah, so, but this time into an ice spider, I believe. I think I've still got that in here.
Ice. Can he
I
turn
bet that's
into an ice
even
spider queen?
creepier.
Trying to make sure I have got it in here. G-H-I. There we go. Ice Spider Queen.
Oh, you got an ice spider queen. Nice.
He has got Ice Spider Queen. So just
They are
8
nasty.
and just squeezes through the top and comes back
Is it
down,
gone
and you
yet?
hear some sort of scuttling on the other side. And then you can hear sort of the distinct probably takes a good 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
We
And
have
then eventually
breakfast.
you sort of feel this. Yeah, so you eat the breakfast. Go for it. In which case, using Bothrid's chef feat, you will get a temporary hit points when I can remember.
50.
No, why can I never find this thing? It really annoys me.
10.
The thing is 5 or 10, I think.
Oh, but equal to your proficiency bonus, it's 5 now.
Better now.
No, ignore me.
Well, don't say anything less.
5 is entry level. That's all I'll have. It's the least I'll allow.
For a number of creatures equal to 4 plus making it correct. When you finish a long rest, you can cook a number of treats equal to your proficiency bonus. These special treats last 8 hours after being made. A creature can use a bonus action to each one of these treats to gain temporary heat points equal to your proficiency bonus. Yes, it is 5. Right, I was just reading the wrong bit, but we got there in the end.
Sweet.
Yeah, feats. So, you will all get an additional 5 points of temporary hit points.
Nice.
We'll give them to Remley as well. And Gindris.
This is a question for Malt Magic
Okay.
and more, but does Gindris have the HP of a ancient silver
I was literally
dragon?
thinking that in my head.
Going, is he going to get any?
In
Or
that
is-
moment, you just hear this.
Can you turn back into Bothrid before I open the door?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has.
You hear this.
Hey,
It's because you haven't checked.
It's cold. Hurry up.
alright, I'll stop pushing, you stop pulling. Let's go.
This
And
is a
as
strength check,
Dargon pushes
please.
the door, I start pulling Dargon in line with his instruction. No, I'm joking.
There is a brief moment where Dargon goes to push the door, and Ander is pulling on Dargon and going, "Oh shit! Sorry, I'm not helping."
Yeah, and after that, I think that I therefore shunt forwards because I get a 23.
A 23 in between you and Bothrid. On the other side, you manage to slowly but surely open these huge, great double wooden doors out to a very snowy, windy landscape. And you can see remnants of broken walls and what probably were buildings at some point as you step out into this landscape. And as you all turn now, I need everybody to make me a perception check.
Oh, I love my grog dice. That'll be another natural 20 for 25.
17.
17. So that both of you would notice these rather large, if not huge, mounds of snow, which with the noise, and as you begin to sort of move around and not being particularly quiet, you see these mounds begin to shift and move around as these huge forms then stand. And we are going to take a short break.
Oh
Before
no!
we get our asses handed to us.
A 3, a 2, a 1. Hello, we are back. So, the thing I forgot to mention before the break, as I usually mention, and as we mentioned at the start, we are still running the NPC character contest. So, if you're not already following us on Twitch, please do. When we hit 50 followers, we will choose from one of those followers to create an NPC alongside me to then feature in the game. So please don't miss out on that chance to get yourself a little bit of your personality into the game. As I've said previously as well, we're going to throw in one of the Malt and Magic t-shirts as well, which none of us are modelling tonight, but you can check them out on the past streams. And yeah, when we hit 50 followers, I don't know, maybe we'll have a mini celebration and say again, sorry?
Laundry day.
I just said laundry day.
Laundry
Seriously,
day,
I'm not
yeah,
gonna lie.
absolutely.
Making sure our t-shirts are alright.
But yeah, no, when we hit 50 followers, we may have a little bit of a mini celebration as well. Maybe we'll give some more things away on that night, so don't miss out. Encourage your friends, if they've not already checked us out, to come and follow along and enjoy the story. As I say, we've done that catch up last week as well, so hopefully if anybody is joining new, they can go watch last week's stream and catch up on what's gone on up until today's episode, so they can sort of come in fresh from today if they really want to, and then go check out the rest of it in their own time. But with that, and with me prattling on around our 50 follower goal, let's get back to the game. So we have just opened these huge great wooden double doors, and the doors even, and the cold is biting out here. It's extreme cold out here, and it just feels uncomfortable for most people, apart from Gindris and Dargon, actually. And Dargon, even you feel that chill, even though it doesn't affect you, you still feel that chill. Bothrid, Ander and Remley are all sort of hunkering down a little bit, and it's in that moment, through the wind and through the mist, amongst these ruins, you can see these two huge, great mounds of snow. With the noise you've been making, they just sort of, two huge figures just push themselves to their feet. And you notice that one... You've come across these creatures before. In an icy cave, funnily enough, or something like these creatures before. But two, one of them seems to have a second head. And with that, I need everybody to roll initiative, please.
Ooh. Rolling some initiative.
Let's roll initiative.
That's a shit one. In honour of Kirek, I've rolled shit initiative.
So have I. So kudos.
Bothry gets advantage and still only rolled a 13.
Yeah, you still.
So what do we get?
What?
Doggone.
8.
8. That is
Those
bad.
Tokens of
And
those creatures look fucking cool, man. 10.
10. So then Remley will get
Ooh.
with advantage.
You said they look
because
like
he has
Vikings.
his-
Does that mean they're frost giants?
Remley's going to get a 19. And then where's the dragon? There he is. Gindris is also going to get 19. Auto roll. There we go. And so we start with Remley. As these two huge, great, hulking, giant-like creatures stand up, you're just going to hear Remley shout, "Frost giants!" And he is instantly going to pull out a shield. The hammer shoots into his hand, actually, with the Warhammer of Warding. And he is going to go, and I remember his movement speed, which I believe is... It is 25 feet. He's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 and run to there. In fact, he's going to use dash. 10, 15, 20, 25, and he's going to get almost to halfway between the party and these two huge great, which he is now shouted out as frost giants. It is then Gindris' turn, I believe, unless I've got things wrong. No, Gindris is next. So Gindris is then going to just sort of... what is Gindris going to do? What's the range on some of these? Yeah, okay. Gindris is just going to hunker down and wait for a second, as we then go over to Bothrid. First thing Bothrid's going to do, seeing these foes, seeing Remley run up, is of course rage. When I can remember how to work a character sheet. There we go, he's raging. He's then going to run 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, dash, fine, no, can't dash, 45 feet to there. That is going to be Bothrid. And then B here. You see
Come at me,
the
bro.
creature just stands there with this great axe in one hand, literally in one hand for now, slams it into his second hand, and there's just this then guttural roar, very similar to what Bothrid's just done, and it looks
Oh
like
my
B
God.
and themselves just gone into a rage. So
Fuck me.
for today we're going to use an orange circle for rage.
Oh
So
no,
it's gonna
the
rage. It's gonna
stream just cancelled
5,
and everything's
10,
dying. Oh no!
15,
Oh
20,
dear! Oh.
30, 35, 40 to there. And then is going to reach down and sort of punch down into the floor, pulls out a rock and is going to then throw it towards Bothrid. With a natural 1.
Hey!
This rock just lands behind Bothrid. Creates quite a sound, sort of shaky sound. Creates quite a noise, and then the ground itself actually shakes. When I remember how to describe things like a normal DM would, we will continue. And over to you, sir. It's been a couple of weeks.
20. I will pull out an old classic, and I will cast slow on both of them. So it's a 120-foot range, and as long as they were within 40 feet of each other, I can get them both, which I believe they are. If I go diagonally. So that is as I've leveled up, a Wisdom 17 saving throw, motherfucker.
Hey! What?
Do you want the good news or the bad news?
Bad news.
One of them rolled a 17 on the die. No,
Okay.
sorry, wait, that was the good news. They've got a +4 to their wisdom, which means one gets 18 and the other one gets 21.
Ah, ball sack.
Oh, that was a waste of fucking time. As a... Oh, Kirek's not here. I was going to put unsettling words on something to use it against a saving throw, but everyone else is smash bash, aren't they? So, in that case then, I will... I could stay where I am. I want to stay quite far away, to be honest. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Oh, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I will use my bonus action to dash to here. Just off the screen, just to piss Dave off.
Just off the screen, just to annoy Dave. That's right, we can move the map around a little bit. There we go.
Thinking I've got some cover
We can
behind
now
the
see.
rocks.
Indeed you have. So you dash down to where that cover is. Anything else in your turn, sir?
No, thank you.
Dargon.
Dargon will, as he sort of pulls out Timiel's Wrath, he notices the ring on his finger, and in his mind he's like, oh, that's fucking useless right now. And will... He will run 30 feet forwards towards... So B is the one that's run forwards to us so far.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll run 5, 10, 15, 20, 25... 30. And then... This sort of... is that the wrong one? Yeah. A sort of... he sort of... as he clamps both hands together on Timiel's Wrath, there's just a shock of light energy going up Timiel's Wrath, and the cantrip True Strike is cast.
Okay.
What's
So-
happening here? This is some new shit.
It's not new shit. I've just not used it before. And the sword is sort of pointing towards B. So, on my next turn, I should gain advantage on my first attack roll against that target.
With True Strike, indeed. So you do notice that almost, as you sort of smack your hand together and your eyes close briefly, it's almost like a golden ray shines down on Timiel's Wrath for a moment, but you also see the light shoot up from the hilt, and these two beams of light just converge, and then there's this glow around the sword as you turn and then look towards B. Ander, I didn't really describe your turn, so we're going to go back and you having stepped out this door and now seeing these two creatures, you sort of hold your hands out and whisper those words, or say those words, or whatever words it is for you with slow. And the energy sort of bursts from your hand, and you just see it wash over these creatures who just don't seem to be phased at all, as you then think, rock's over there, and dash down to do so. Anything else on your turn, Dogan?
Yeah, bear with. Well, I check what bonus actions I've got. Very quickly, I shall.
Well, excuse me.
Yeah, I'm going to point towards. Not point towards. I'm just going to say out loud. I've got B covered. Remley, do your work. Not B. Fucking hell. The one in front of me. Sorry. I've got this
Got
one
him
covered. I've got him
got
covered.
this one covered.
Remley, you do that fucker some damage. As I use one of my maneuvers, Rally, to give him 6 temporary hit points.
Nice. Okay. Now 11 temporary hit points.
Sweet.
Do they stack temporary hit points? No, they don't, do they? He's gonna have
Ah, bollocks. I forgot he already had 5. Cock it.
Yeah. So he's
Oh,
gonna
well.
have 6 instead. It's fine, he's got more than he had.
Hey, it worked. I don't use it
Okay.
often enough, I need to.
Yeah, it's all good. So, A is then going to also let out a roar. And I say this is the one that's got 2 heads. I'm just going to make a little note of that so I don't forget. So A is the one that's got 2 heads, and both of these heads roar at the same time as A also then enters into a rage. I'm just going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. He's then also going to slam one fist down into the ground, wrench out a loose rock, and just beans it towards Remley. That is going to be an unnatural 20 to hit, which does not hit Remley, as Remley just the last minute just lifts up his shield and sort of does so in a way that as the rock catches it, he manages to flip it over his head and sort of roll it back. Wily little fuckers these are. And when I find the encounter builder, we'll go back to it. And top of the round with then Remley, who is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. Close the distance. We'll move up to there. 25.
Smack
His
him
movement
one.
speed.
Smack him one.
And is then going to, of course, smack or attempt to smack 3 times with the Warhammer of Warning. So the first one's coming in single-handed. That is a 21 to hit, which does hit. So the first one hits. Second one misses. Third one hits. So that is going to be 10 plus. So that's going to be 16 points of bludgeoning damage. And as Remley smashes into A, you can see A just sort of shakes off some of that damage. It doesn't take the full effect. And then Gindris. With Remley having... Let's just check Remley's bonus actions just to be on the safe side. Yeah, that's all going to be able to do. So then Gindris is going to move up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 up to there. You then see these 7 motes of light just appear around his head and just sort of slowly float around his head. And sort of there's this bright light now around Gindris himself. And then he's going to use a bonus action and just sort of, with his hand, just sort of and throws one of these motes of light towards A. Let's cast that there. Make a ranged spell attack. 29 to hit.
Oh, beauty!
So that is going to be 4 of them. That's a lot of damage. That is 32 points of radiant damage.
That deserves a sound effect for sure. Yeah, it does.
32 points of radiant damage as this mote of light just streaks towards, almost like a miniature shooting star, and just smacks into A. And there's sort of this flash of light as you just hear a small cheer from Remley go out as actually the sound of this star-like energy hitting A just sort of around. That will be Gindris' go, as then Bothrid, who is raging. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 down to here with B. And of course Bothrid is going to reckless attack while raging. One of them hits with a 23. Hits with a 19. And a little bonus. Hits with a 16 as well, I do believe. Hits with a 16 as well. So he's going to get 2 of them. 2 of them. So that is going to be 21 points of slashing damage plus an additional even. 21, 23, 28 plus 6, 34 points of slashing damage, but again, as Bothrid slices into B, that is only going to be 17 points of damage when I do maths in my head. As the slashing damage, even though he's cutting into this Frost Giant just doesn't seem to give a shit. So then Frost Giant B, now with Bothrid in front of him. You notice that, in fact, everybody make me a perception check very quickly.
11.
13.
Good to know. Thank you. Make sure I'm doing the right one. You notice that the wounds that Bothrid just caused on B, some of them begin to close up.
No.
So then the Frost Giant is going to swing twice with this great axe. Doesn't hit with the first. That's a 14 to hit, which is definitely not going to hit Bothrid. The second one swings down. Still doesn't hit with 15. So these 2 great axe swings, just one hits the snow down to Bothrid's left. Bothrid ducks out the way, and the second swing comes in, and Bothrid just sort of ducks out the way the other side. It's hits the ground again, and yes, we with that are then over 2 under.
I just realised it's all fucking half damage in it, so I'm really far away. So I'm just going to hit him with an arrow, and it's just going to do not a lot, but we'll have a go. I will use steady aim to get advantage on the attack, please. And I will use my bow and arrow. Oh god. 18 to hit.
Will hit. Which one are you aiming for?
Oh, B, sorry.
Okay.
With... Oh, I'm rolling shite it. 9 piercing damage. A sneak attack damage of 13. And the all-important D4 for an extra 2.
Okay. The arrow flies true and strikes him, but again, B just sort of looks. And that will be your go, won't it?
Yes.
Dargon.
From where I'm standing, holding up Timiel's Wrath, with both hands, I'll just point forwards and say, "Guide my attacks." And then a bolt of energy will fly out at B using Guiding Bolt. So that should be advantage on it for me.
Double checking.
So-
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know whether it's going to hit.
Concentrating on True Strike.
Go
on.
16.
16 will just hit.
Oh ho ho ho! Yikes, that was lucky. I hate rolling low like that. I say low, I just haven't got a big modifier on that. So that is 5d6 damage.
Nice.
Nice.
Because I can only cast it at second level.
Is that the only, first time you've successfully done bolt?
I do believe it probably is. So that is...
That's what happens when you cast True Strike beforehand. It gives you that advantage.
Yes. It was good because it was a 6 and a 10 I rolled, which was rubbish. So that is 19 points of, I believe, radiant damage.
19, you say?
I'm just double checking that it is radiant. It is 19 points of radiant damage.
Nice. 19 points of radiant damage on B. As that radiant damage just strikes, seems to do full damage.
And then I'll move further forwards, so I shall then run forwards. And I'll run directly in between the two of them, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Remley, hold him off if you can, I'm going to take this one out. And with Bothrid, I'm just going to go directly ahead. That was my full movement. And I'm going to leave it there.
I forgot that Bothrid now has instinctive pounce, which meant he could have moved half his movement speed with his first action. Or bonus action, but that's fine.
As Matt would say, read your character sheet, people.
Absolutely. New features. So then A, if you finished, is going to take a couple of swings down towards Remley, but first you notice that some of the wounds begin to close up. Okay, so that's not going to hit. Rolling shit on these tonight. There we go. There's one that's finally going to hit. So the second one hits, and that is going to be 40 points of damage against Remley.
Ow!
Yep.
That's quite a lot.
As this great axe just clatters against Remley's shield and sort of shunts it to the side and catches into his shoulder.
It's alright, lads, I gave him 6 HP.
Yeah, okay.
Totally helped. Promise.
Okay, I need to remember that for Remley as well. Okay, so that will be A's go. Back to the top of the round with Gindris. Gindris seeing what's going on. First thing Gindris is going to do, and Gindris is, I believe, concentrating on that one.
Oh, by the way, I presume
It's
I'm
not
not
a concentration
concentrating.
spell.
I'm not concentrating on
True Strike anymore.
True Strike anymore. I don't think.
Nope.
Don't even think it was
And
concentration.
I just
was it?
realised the spell that Gindris has cast is not a concentration spell either, which is amazing.
Yes, it was concentration. Of course it was.
So Gindris is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's going to stand just behind you, Dargon. And then in his draconic voice, he just shouts out this word. And you can see all of that energy is aimed towards A. And it is a word in draconic that... do anybody of you speak draconic? Anybody
Nope.
speak draconic here? No? Okay, so nobody understands what the word is. However... A, because that was 139 hit points, is now stunned.
Hey!
So, I need to resize that a bit.
Pulling out of stealth, yeah.
Well, you know where he is now. So I can actually use some of his shit. A is stunned.
I would just point out that we don't fully know the fact that how he has his magic. Just FYI.
Nope. So A being
Yeah,
stunned
it's like-
means that they are incapacitated, can't move, can't speak, or they can only vaguely speak. They automatically face strength and dexterity saving throws, and any attack rolls against that creature now have advantage.
Are they also crits when they hit or not?
They are incapacitated, which will mean
Incapacitated creature can't take actions or
can't take
reactions.
actions or reactions.
Oh, I thought
So
they
no,
were
It's
also
only
crit. Not an
paralysed
auto
when it's a
crit.
crit.
paralysed.
Yeah, it is paralysed where it's an auto crit. So that is Gindris's go. However, as a bonus action, is then gonna shoot off one of the stars. Let's just make sure I've chalked off that spell slot as well.
They're stunned, yeah?
Stunned. But this bonus action is going to be aimed at B, actually. So that is a ranged spell attack. 18 is still going to hit, but it was not the best roll. 4d12 radiant. 36 points of radiant damage at B. Once again, this star just streaks off and against B. B's not happy. B roars a little bit. A is just there, sort of. And then we are over to Bothrid. Bothrid gets advantage on this first attack because of Guiding Bolt.
Yeah, boy.
So still raging. Gonna roll with advantage on the first one. In fact, he gets advantage anyway because he's gonna do Reckless. That would be a natural 20.
Hey! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
Go on, Buffers.
Do it!
Dice are still twitching.
Denied.
Come on, D&D Beyond. They're still twitching in the corner. This is weird. That's 14 points of initial slashing damage, which is going to get halved, of course, on B.
Was that already doubled?
7. Yes. So it's only 4d4 plus 5. So then the second attack is also going to be at advantage.
Yes. That's not bad.
Yes, that is now gone. That is a 27 to hit, so that's also going to hit.
Sweet.
That's going to be an additional 9 points of slashing damage, halved to 5. And then a little bonus jab. Still reckless. Hits with a 28. So one of them. So that's 8 points of slashing damage, reduced to 4. There needs to be an extra 4 points of damage on top of that for rage damage. Okay, and with that, B is bloodied. Bothrid sort of and then that little jab in just enough to bloody the creature. It is then B's go. And you notice now, paying attention to these creatures, that some of those wounds just heal up. If I actually hit the right thing, that'll be...
Is that also happening on A? Are they automatic? Are they still being able to, like...
We've not seen A since they were stunned.
Never mind.
So that little bit of healing is enough to take B above the mark for being bloodied again. And B is then going to make a couple of great attacks against Bothrid, which now will be at advantage because it was reckless. 25 to hit with the first. 37 points of slashing damage with that first one. Bothrid's raging. That's going to be halved. 2. Maths. 19. So there's his 10 hit points gone. And then the second attack. Advantage still because of reckless. That is 2 16s on the die. That's a 27 to hit. That's going to be one of them. So that'll be 33 for 17 points of slashing damage to Bothrid. Bothrid is down to 113 hit points.
He's still alright.
And that will be B's go. Ander.
He's on the same as Kirek.
So, I'm going to have a bit of a change of tact, mainly because I've not got many arrows left, to be honest. So I'm going to bonus action dash to there, and then I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers at second level on B, which is again another Wisdom saving throw of 17. Hoping for a shit roll, Matt.
Unnatural 20.
You're taking the piss, aren't you?
Oh, they've got advantage.
16 on the dice. 16 on the dice. No advantage. That's just a flat 16 on the die.
The thing is, though, right, he wasn't within range for me to do Unsettling Words first, so for him to subtract a d8 because I couldn't get in range. But my plan was to do a Dissonant Whisper, so he needed to run away, so then Bothrid gets to attack him back as an attack opportunity. Never mind. That's a fucking waste of a go. Just moving on.
Anything else?
No, I've used my bonus action, I've used my movement, I've wasted a spell. I'm just going to sit and be mad for a second.
Doggone.
So, as we can sort of hopefully like imagine, certainly the last 30 feet is me being sort of run, so I cast that and then ran forwards. I glance over to see that the other one is stunned and still consider that the one to my right is more of a threat. So I shall run another 5, 10, 15, 20 feet. And as I do, I sort of, one knee, one leg up, slide in and try and cut two-handed through one of the legs of B. Just to, at the very least, try and cut in, not necessarily cut off, but that's the intention. So that will be... Because Guiding Bolt hit, but that was presumably used up with one of Bothrid's hits, was it?
Bothrid, yeah.
Yeah, this is just a normal one.
Mm-hmm.
So, that, oh, no, one dice. That will be Yeah, no, I picked up 2 accidentally. Right, it'll be Timiel's Wrath for a absolutely... Oh, I was going to say an absolutely shocking, and then realised obviously that I'm talking bollocks here, because that's 22 to hit. My bad.
Yeah, that's shocking. That's
I think that'll be
absolutely...
okay.
Okay, I was doing 9 plus 3 in my head. All right. Forgot the other 10 that was added on afterwards. All right. So yeah, that hits. So that is 12 points of slashing damage. Presume it's not presume it's not radiant. No, it's not radiant unless it's against a fiend.
Reduced to 6.
And I then use yeah, so surely I've got one here. Oh, don't. I'll just attack again. It'll be alright.
Okay.
Use them up later. Yeah, so I'll just attack again. That's fine. Ooh, that is horrendous! But it's still an 18 to hit.
Yeah, that's going to hit.
Yeah, sweet. For 8... No, another 12 points of slashing damage.
Okay, and with that, he is bloodied again. He's still not done quite as much damage as you would like, and even though you've sort of slid in and gone to slice the leg off, you do sort of more of a surface cut, and then come back and try to do it again and just sort of further do a bit more of a surface cut. Anything else on your turn?
Hey, Biggin, down here. That's about it.
Not that one. That one. Because A... Con saving throw. That might do it. That might do it. Absolutely gonna do it. That is ridiculous. That is a 27 on the con saving throw. A is no longer stunned. I believe that's the end of its go. So A is no longer stunned, but it is the end of its turn. Back up to the top, Remley. 3 attacks.
Do it!
Do it! With a Warhammer of Oneing. First one, 25 to hit. Second one, 22 to hit. Third one, 24 to hit. All 3 of them hit. Could be 11, 18, 26. That will be 13 points of slashing damage, sorry, bludgeoning damage to A. Still not enough to bloody A. However, Remley is then. Is Remley then? Is Remley then? Nope, we're going to leave that. That's Remley. And then over to as Remley just 3 times with the Warhammer of Warning, just smacks 3 times. Gindris is then in step 5 up to there and is going to place a hand on Remley and is going to cast a we're going to have a 3rd level Cure Wounds, I believe. So that was shocking. That's 18 points of health back. Okay, and then bonus action, again, one of those stars, he just towards B. I go down to that spell. Well, that was a natural 1. So this time the star just streaks off and goes a bit too far. Gindris distracted too much by trying to heal Remley at this stage, as the star just 1 to hit anyway, even if it wasn't a natural 1. Okay, Bothrid then, doing what Bothrid does best. Reckless attack.
Fuck 'em up. Fuck it up.
First one's going to hit. Nah, I thought that was a natural 20, but it's not. The second one's still going to hit. And then a little bonus one.
Little cheeky poke in the side.
Little cheeky poke. That is going to be... That's the story of Danny's life, I think. Little cheeky
Hey!
poke.
That's how my child was conceived, mate.
So, first one of them is 10. So that's 12. 24. Ignore that last roll, so I shouldn't have clicked that one. 12, 24, plus 28, 35 points of slashing damage. Slashing damage halved down to maths. 18. Cool. So B is still very much bloodied. It is now B's go. Some of those wounds heal up. However, stop putting it on the damage, you twat. B is still bloodied. B is then, this time, going to aim one Great Axe attack towards Dargon. It's going to be a 27 to hit, mate.
It'll about do it. He didn't attack. Sorry, did he attack Bothrid before?
Not yet.
No,
he has
fine.
attacked Bothrid, but not this round.
That's fine.
That's
fine.
going to be a total of 25 slashing damage.
Go on, Bennett.
And then he's going to attack Bothrid, which would have been an advantage. It's going to hit either way. And that one is going to be, stop twitching, 36 points of slashing damage, halved down.
I shall use my Sentinel attack reaction to then attack him.
Okay. Okay, bear with. I'll let
That's
you figure
fine.
that out.
Just letting him know.
You get to attack him with that, do you?
Oh yeah.
18 points of slashing damage to Bothrid.
When a creature within 5 feet of me makes an attack against a target other than you, you can use a reaction to make a melee attack against the attacking creature.
Nice.
It reduces that creature's speed to 0, so he cannot move away from us. Or me.
Well, don't you tell me that.
And let's see. Yeah, I basically I can use my action. So that's about it. So yeah, it's just one attack, normal, with Timiel's
go for
Wrath
it.
for Gordon frickin' Bennett, 29 to hit.
Yep.
And that is going to be a lovely 11 points of slashing damage. Rolling low on these D10s, guys.
Damage, which will then be halved. So
Yarp.
that's then over to Anders go.
Every little helps.
So, what Dargon's done is totally changed what I was about to do, because I was going to do Dissonant Whispers, so they're both getting opportunity attack, but Dargon's used his reaction to attack, and the creature can't move now.
Sorry.
No, it's fine, because my plan B, off the cuff, is bonus action unsettling words on B, so he has to subtract a D8 from his next saving throw, and the roll on the D8 is a 2. Cheers for that.
I have to roll that.
Okay, well that's alright then, because 2's a shit. You can roll that again. That's fine.
So, to describe my Sentinel attack then, I went for the same knee as I've been attacking so far. Therefore, you notice that he ain't going to run anywhere.
And noticing my arrows aren't doing a lot, I'm going to attack its brain with Vicious Mockery. So a Wisdom 17 saving throw minus a D8, please.
Wisdom 17 saving throw. Well, I rolled a 7 on the die and a 7 on the D8, which cancels out to 0, which means it's a 4.
So that's 3d4 psychic damage, which is 8
Nice.
psychic damage, and it now has
8
disadvantage on its next attack roll.
What a waste of unsettling words.
I know. I've done it now.
But no, it was brilliant, actually. It's actually brilliant. To bring it to naught is amazing.
I always forget that Vicious Mockery. I hardly ever use it because I think, oh, it's only 3d4. I always forget it gives the person disadvantage on their next attack roll. I must
Very
remember
important, especially up against Bothrid when they already probably have an advantage.
They do get advantage against Bothrid.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, and with that, we are then around to Dogon.
Attack. So, first one
Attack!
is 18 to hit.
Yes.
I was rolling really good earlier, and then I'm really rolling really bad now. But anyway, 17 points of slashing damage.
17 points of slashing damage, which will be reduced to 9.
And then 25 to hit.
Yep.
Ooh, that's better. 17 points of slashing damage.
17 points of slashing damage, which again, reduced to 9. It's the same amount of damage in 2 rolls there, Dave.
That was not bad. It was not bad.
Good stuff.
2 names.
Anything else?
Yeah. Bonus action, second wind. So I shall regain the full 20.
Nice.
10 and a 10. Oh my god,
Nice.
I'm back up to scratch. Hey!
There you go. That's what it's all about. Okay. So then, some of the wounds are going to close up. A then has reach, so he's going to swing at Gindris. With a 16 to hit, which hits. So Gindris is then going to use a reaction. All the way up there. Cast shield, which means as this great axe comes down, Gindris, you just see Gindris sort of holds his hands out, and this shimmering silver snow-like energy just crackles around, and the great axe just cracks into it, and Gindris sort of holds it there. The creature is going to make another attempt to do that. Let me just double check what that umps is. 8C2, 5, so that would be that. So then another attack from the great axe on Gindris. Just hits, only just. As the sort of the shield is up, great axe comes down and actually shatters the shield, bites down into Gindris' shoulder.
Ooh.
So that is going to be 28 points of slashing damage to Gindris. And there is a bit of a draconic roar that comes out there. Gindris
Funny
not
had a sound
happy.
effect for that.
Gindris not happy. Okay, back round to the top with Remley. And you just hear Remley sort of shout, Gindris! Back off! And Remley is going to do his 3 swings. Once. Oh, so close to a natural 20. Is an 18. Is going to hit twice. 22 is going to hit 3 times a dwarf. 16 will just hit.
3 times a dwarf. What?
8.
Once, twice.
3 times a dwarf.
But Lionel Richie is cringing somewhere.
25. 13 points of slashing damage against. Bludgeoning damage against a halved. No, sorry, that is halved. You buggers, completely putting me off. Okay. So then Gindris is going to. Gindris is going to back up slightly.
Hopefully they don't have reach.
Opportunity. 10, 15. So that will be a quick attack of opportunity.
They have reach.
Attacks. They have reach. It's going to miss. Ooh, does it?
Oh, we're
does it?
going to miss.
No, that is just going to hit.
Oh,
That is
no.
just going to hit.
Is it?
So
Is this like
Steps back.
what am I thinking of? Not shape change. Polymorph.
Polymorph?
You know, like cut into Gindris and just a massive dragon pops out. oh fuck!
So Gindris is going to step back to there, takes a wound, and just about manages to sort of stave it off. You hear a grunt, and again that draconic voice. The eyes at this point have just bled to pure dragon. He is not a happy bunny. The star this time is going to get launched straight at A. And that's going to be... make it count. 24 to hit. That'll do the job. Oh, it's a shit damage roll. That is 17 points of radiant damage on A. 17 points of radiant damage. And then Gindris, having stepped to there, you will then see. Can't use a bonus action, but. Why have we sorcery points? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Confirm that. Not Gindris himself fully transforming, but you can almost see the shadow in the mist and snow around him of that draconic presence. And a 60-foot aura is going to begin to emanate off of Gindris. I'm just going to see if I've got anything that is like a 60-foot aura.
That's like Bothrin after a curry. That is damn fucking hell. Jesus Christ! Would you move away?
60 foot. 60 foot aura. 60 foot radius aura. Is that 30 foot radius? Oh, we were 60. Spells. That one will do. So we're going to put idiot.
Oh, nice! Look at that.
Drop that in there. And you notice Gindris is actually going to...
Did you say 60 foot?
5, 10, 15, 20...
Whoa.
I thought 60
That was
feet
weird.
will get it to there. So it's then going to take us... Whoa, why is Gindris... You grow.
Is it 60 foot diameter or 60 foot from him?
This is going to annoy me, hang on. Prop. There we go. That's better. It just says a 60-foot aura. So it's really annoying, that one.
Yeah, that's not well described, is it?
Actually,
Because if it's like
exudant
centered
aura
on him, that's 60 feet either way,
to a
isn't
distance
it? So 60
of
foot
60
radius.
feet.
Ah, it's a 60-foot
No, it
radius.
just
then,
says you can exude an aura to a distance of 60 feet.
Yeah, so that needs to double.
oh, okay, hell.
Yeah.
It
In
becomes
which
the map.
case, we're going to
Pretty
bin
much.
that off because I actually have a better one. I do have a better one. Sorry, chat. I know I shouldn't be messing around with this, but these spell tokens are awesome.
They are good fun. They look amazing. These new ones from they are embedded in Owlbear, aren't they?
No.
Holy!
I have grabbed these off the DM's Guild.
Nice.
But yes, this draconic presence now exudes around, or exudes from Gindris himself, and both of these creatures need to now, as Gindris concentrates on this, make a wisdom saving throw. Will be frightened. So, A
That's a
gets
frost giant
advantage on
looking at
this.
Gindris and being frightened.
A gets advantage on it, rolls a 6 and an 8, which even with the +4 is not going to do the job. So A is instantly frightened. B gets a 16, unnatural 20. B is not frightened. So, however, A is frightened. Do I have a thing for that? Yes, I do. Loving all these little aura tokens as well. So to shrink that down. A has been stunned and is now frightened.
Stunned and frightened. Oh,
He's having a
Not
great
stunned.
day.
He was stunned, he is now frightened,
I'm with
which
you.
means he can get no closer. Has disadvantage on ability checks and ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear was within line of sight, which is pretty much anywhere on this map, and can't move any closer. So yes, that is Gindris' go. That took long enough, but we got there, as then Bothrid is then going to do his usual and slicey on B at advantage because it's reckless. Ooh, 28 hits with the first.
It was a
26
delayed
hits
sound effect
second,
there, but it was good.
and the little poke sound effects are always worth it. Battle Bards, people, it's worth a check out. So all three of those attacks are going to hit. So that's going to be, as Bothrid does his sort of dance with the double-bladed quarterstaff, that's going to be an initial 12 points of slashing damage, 22 points of slashing damage. Ignore the third roll because I've accidentally clicked it again.
Yeah.
22, 24, 26, 31, 32, 16 points of slashing damage from Bothrid as he just continues to slice into B. And that will be Bothrid's go. It is then B's turn. Part of those wounds close up as it was looking very ropey. Still looking pretty ropey, to be fair. B, having now been attacked by Bothrid multiple times, is going to get advantage on the attack against
Is
Bothrid,
this
which
the
would
one-
then go
I'm
down to
losing
flat
track.
because
Has my disadvantage from Vicious Mockery come into play yet?
that is now it.
Yeah, so it just attacks him normally then without
So it would have been
advantage.
advantage. That was what I was just about to say. Cancels out. So flat. It's the first attack, yeah?
Yeah.
Still
just
going to
says
hit with a
its next attack.
25. So
Is
that
this
is
a
going to be 20.
same round as I used Sentinel before?
No, we're back in the new round because Bothrid's
We
just
are.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, we're in a new round
Yeah,
now.
we are, aren't we? Yeah.
So that's
So you can use it
23
again,
points of
to answer your question.
slashing damage, which will be 12 to Bothrid. Puts Bothrid on 83 now.
83.
And then a second attack against Bothrid. This one will be at advantage. Stop twitching. 24 to hit. So that's going to be 27. Another way. 14 points of slashing damage against Bothrid.
And I
Bothrid
shall
at this point
Sentinel.
is bloodied. It's most certainly bloodied.
Bothrid's bloodied.
Bothrid is bloodied.
Oh,
What's he on?
69 hit points.
He's on half. Nice. Yeah, Sentinel, sorry. That is, roll some dice. That is, oh my good lord, 17.
To hit, still hits.
Yeah, oh good lord. Nearly rolled another d20 then. That would have been lovely to add to, but never mind, no we can't do that. That would be a 16 points of slashing damage.
8 points of slashing damage.
Yep.
But B is not looking good. You have continued to chop into this leg and at this knee, and you're slowly and surely getting through the skin, the muscle, through the tendons, and you can start to see bits of bone now beginning to show.
What are we looking for?
Ander.
yes. So I will use steady aim to get advantage on my bow and arrow attack on B, hoping to finish him off with a. Oh my god, 16 to hit. That does just hit, though, doesn't
16
it?
would 16 would just hit. Yep.
With, oh fucking hell, there's the lowest possible piercing damage of 8. Sneak attack damage. Come on, get 4 6s here. Just to make me feel better. I'm rolling like a tosser tonight. Oh, that's not too bad. 18 slashing damage. I mean sneak attack damage, sorry, and then a 1d4 of 3.
2. Of course, this arrow just firing and strikes in. B is beginning to sway around a little bit. Still standing, however. And then we are over to Dargon. Unless you know you can't move, you steady aim. We're all good.
You.
I shall attack B with Timiel's
I have
Wrath.
just read something. I am sorry. I have got this wrong.
Holding off.
A got incapacitated, so A can no longer be raging.
A.
So apologies for that. That is my bad.
Or back when it was stunned.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a 31 to hit. 32
31
to hit.
on B will definitely hit.
I forgot the extra one. Okay, so that is 16 points of damage.
8.
And again. Oh, that's on the floor. Yeah, I don't know where that went.
Roll it again.
I don't know where that went. I haven't got a clue. So I'm just use another dice and I'll find that in a minute.
Dice is down. The grog dice is down.
It is, the grog dice is down. So this is the celestial dice. This is well, it's 17 on the dice, so plus
That's
a lot.
gonna hit.
So that is hard math. It's bad. That's terrible. That is 13 points.
7 points of slashing damage. B begins to sway once more. And that leg looks like it's getting weaker and weaker and weaker. Anything else you wish to do?
Yes, action fucking surge.
Action surge.
18 to
He's
hit.
going down.
18 gonna hit.
Yeah. That's 11 points.
6 points of slashing damage.
My God in heaven. That is 26 to hit.
26 will hit.
17 points.
9 points of slashing damage. What you notice is B, as you do slice clean through the leg now, drops down and looks as if it's falling, and the eyes have sort of rolled back. Anything else in your turn? I think that's it now. It's bonus action.
I wasn't bonus action, so
No, you've not used your bonus action.
yeah, my bonus action is
So,
going.
yeah, I will say B is pretty much fallen down, dead.
You go.
Dead. Oh,
For all intents and purposes, B is dead.
I know. Fuck. I'm not happy about that. The player in me knows that I wish that Anda had a certain necklace.
Shh.
So I'm going to cast a bonus action hex on A.
Okay. And what are you doing with that hex? Or is that just giving you...
Oh
bonus
yeah,
damage?
it does the disadvantage on a specific. Is it? Hang on a minute. Also, choose one ability that you cast. Sorry, choose one ability that you cast on the spell. Has disadvantage on ability checks made with this chosen ability. Ability checks aren't saving throws and aren't attacks, are they?
Nope. Ability check is a different thing.
Going to do strength because that's the one that Dargon would do.
Okay. So he's not only frightened, but now has disadvantage.
He's going to
on
grapple a
strength
frost giant now, isn't he?
Anything else? You've got some movement?
I do have some movement. Yeah, I'm going to move towards A. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Okay,
I'm going to
you're
do
gonna
5, 10.
To A.
Yeah.
Okay, and with that, it's A's turn. You get some hit points back as some of those wounds close up. And A is then going to attempt to swing at Remley, but will be at disadvantage because Gindris is stood right there. That was a natural 20 and a 12.
Ooh.
So 23 to hit, which means it still hits. No longer raging. It cannot rage again. So that'll be 29 points of slashing damage on Remley. And then the second one is going to be swung towards you then, Dargon, again with disadvantage.
As I say, may I sentinel that as well, just to lob that in there with my reaction?
Yes, you can do. That is a 27 to hit, at disadvantage.
Yeah, that hits me, but he also already takes 16 points of damage prior to that.
So 8.
He's
And
not
you're
raging,
going
is
to
he?
take 4. No, he's not raging. Ignore me. An additional 8 damage. That is 41 points of damage to yourself.
Good morning, Vicar.
I'll wake you.
I'll wake you up in the morning, that will.
It will indeed. Background to the top. Remley is going to smashy with the hammer 3 times. First one hits, 26. Second one doesn't hit with a 14. Third
Oh,
one,
sorry. That also takes 6 points of necrotic damage. Sorry, I forgot Hex.
an additional 6 points necrotic damage to A.
Let's go find me dice.
A is now bloodied.
Dave's gone into Narnia now.
Is still up. Dave's just...
That could not have gone
disappeared.
further. That was incredible.
So where were we? Remley's hit with the first, missed with the second, and the third one was a 23, which is also going to hit. So that is going to be 9, 12, Maths. 21 points of bludgeoning damage against A.
You forget that. I mean, I'm literally guessing here, but let's say that they have 60 hit points, right? They immediately, once raging, have 120 hit points effectively, apart from, obviously, I know a couple of things. But you suddenly take something that's like mediocre to, oh my god, this takes forever to kill.
Yep. And they heal as well.
And they heal, and apparently, foreshadowing, I think one of them's going to get back up, but...
So Gindris is still concentrating.
It'd be so annoying if all we need to do is, like, light a torch.
Gindris is then going to move up to
Fireball would be good. I think that's what we used to kill him last time, wasn't it?
10, 15, 20.
More than likely.
25 into there.
Although didn't we
So,
go
right,
up
it'll be
against
like-
undead frost giants in that place against Zapernia? They were undead
You
frost
did
giants, I
indeed.
think.
It's still, I think,
Yeah.
like
Fire
fire damage and or other like acid.
Oh
or
yeah, I
something
mean fire
would stop
damage
him-
against these guys would do some
would
astonishing
stop them
double
healing
damage.
as well. I
Yeah,
think.
probably. At least they're not trolls, and therefore definitely going to get a back up. But we don't know.
Oh, I can't read. Can't read at all. Interesting. Cool. Alright, Gindris is going to move up to there, is going to turn, and one hand just reaches forward as he casts a Ray of Frost. That's an 18 to hit, so still going to hit. 22 points of cold damage against A.
I mean, I hate to be a
not
party pooper, but I'm surprised
3,250.
that's done any damage.
Comes the brakes.
Well, wax
no,
my
you're
legs
right.
and call me an auntie.
Nope, you're right. Missed it. So that's not going to do any damage whatsoever. As you see Gindris do this and then look at himself and just sort of... and then with the other hand, it's just going to flick one of the star-like motes of light towards A, which is absolutely going to hit with a 26, and that's going to be 31 points of radiant damage. 31 points of radiant damage, which definitely furthers the bloodied action on A. Then over to Bothrid. Bothrid is going to turn, still raging. 5, 10, 15, up to there. Bothrid is bloodied, mind you. Bothrid, still reckless, is going to attack twice. Let's actually do that advantage, shall we? It's going to hit anyway. Let's just double check it's not a natural 20. Yeah, okay, so that one definitely hits. Second one also hits. Third little stabby bonus also hits. 23, 27, and a 23. So we're going to get 13, 26. Stop clicking that one, you knob. So 26. And 31, 36 points of slashing damage as Bothrid continues his dance. How much damage did I say there? 31 or 36? 36, isn't it? 36. 36 points of damage as Bothrid just sort of dashes up and then almost does this sort of jump and spins down with the first one, spins it back around, and then that little jab in. A begins to sway on its feet. That is Bothrid's go. B. Some of the wounds close up. B shakily raises to a single knee. and stands up is no longer raging. Technically did get knocked out. And that doesn't count anymore. Still bloodied. B is then going to take sort of... I'm going to say it's only got half its movement speed anyway, because it's kind of missing a leg. It's actually going to use the Great Axe to shove it into the floor and drag itself forward slightly. And then with reach, is going to swing towards you, Dargon.
Yep.
23 to hit for the first attack.
Afraid so.
Second one, 23 again.
Yep.
That is going to be... 48 points of damage in total. 48 points of slashing damage.
Yeah, damn. I mean, if we're going along the lines of half, then I am looking bloodied.
Dargon is bloodied.
What?
Ander.
Seeing this thing get up, Anders just going to go, nope. And he's going to try and shoot it in the back of the head with his bow and arrow using steady aim for advantage. Be a 20, be a 20, be a 20. Cock. Still a 22 to hit though. I'll take it.
Yep.
With 10 piercing damage, a sneak attack of 15, and the d4 of another 2.
Okay. B
Hopefully
then,
it'll go back down.
as this arrow flies into the back of the head, you just... B falls down to the floor dead once more, seemingly. And that's your go, isn't it? Dargon.
Yep.
Excuse me, while Pebble trips over the mic. A's looking particularly rubbish, correct?
A looks crap right now, yeah. It's got so many wounds, there's blood pissing out of everywhere. You can see it's visibly frightened. It keeps looking over at Gindris, and you can see this just almost like ice-like shadow of a dragon around Gindris.
Yeah, he can't really afford to do anything else apart from hit A. So I don't have advantage or anything, do I?
You do because it's fright. No.
No.
Sorry.
Then a
No.
pull. I don't. Yeah, fuck it. I'm
What
gonna
was
use
that noise?
Come on.
Right, 2 hours 58 minutes. We're clipping that.
I would use a bonus action fainting attack. Like I'm going to swing for B and then swipe back up at A.
Okay.
So let's just knock off another superiority dice. That is then going to be... so that, hang on a minute, that should give me advantage on it. Hopefully I don't need that, but we'll see. Could always give me... Oh my good lord, that was friggin' lucky. Yeah, I rolled a 3 and a 5, so that's 18 to hit. I'm so glad I did that. And then that does actually add a d10 to that, so thank God we did that. So that will be 19 points of slashing damage.
19 points of slashing damage as you do cut into A, and well, that was magic. That turned everything except what I actually wanted it to turn. Fuck's sake. We'll get there in a minute, folks.
Noticing that B got up when I thought that had killed him, I would like to use my second attack against A. I'm going to say, from my point of view, that it's to, I don't know, try and chop his one of his heads off. Assuming
Okay.
that, because obviously this was the one with 2, so I can use my second
Yeah.
attack. I'd go for 2, but I don't know whether how much poetic license I'm allowed on that one.
So this will be at advantage because
Sweet.
it's incapacitated.
Well, wasn't a natural 20, but it was 27 to hit. 28
However,
to
it's
hit.
an auto crit.
Oh, okay, sweet. So that is 2d10.
Because technically it's dead.
Awesome. Oh, nice. That's 28 points of damage. That's full crit damage.
And with an auto crit, you just swing Timiel's Wrath round and straight through the necks, or one of these necks. And one of the heads just sort of rolls into the snow as this huge great gout of blood squirts across. Anything else on your turn, sir?
Yes. That will be a bonus action. No, I've already used second wind, so I will use a bonus action healing light to 2d6 heal myself.
Okay. So you heal yourself. Does that take you above half?
No, it's 5 points.
Okay. In which case, it is then A's turn, so A's going to get some points back. Still with one functioning head. Magic. How awesome is that? So in love with these tokens at times. Do you know, I'm just going to leave it like that, because I really can't be bothered. So yeah. He gets back up. He is frightened. Still frightened, despite having died. Let's roll for that. I'm calling it a disadvantage because, yeah, still frightened. It's a natural one. Okay, so A is going to regenerate slightly. So I'm shakily going to stand and then very nervously swing again at first person it sees when it stands up. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Remley. First one comes in. Gonna hit. Or is it? Yes, it's still gonna hit. Second one is a natural one, so the first one hits. And that is going to be 34 points of slashing damage against Remley. As then Remley catches the second one on his shield and just sort of slams it down to the side, almost parries it slightly. And then it is Remley's turn.
Sorry, did one miss, by the way?
Yes.
May I
Yeah,
reaction riposte against A?
Have you used your reaction? No, it's been
I've
your
had
turn.
my. I've
You're
just
all
had
good.
my go, so I
Yeah,
should have
that's
my,
cool.
my reaction.
Yeah.
So if I can attack, then use another superiority die, and that is then a 26 to hit,
Yeah, that might just hit.
and that is where's that gone? There. 19 points of slashing damage.
19 points of slashing damage, which means
So I'll chop the heads off.
oh, yep, I'm going to do that one. There we go. So I'm just fiddling around with my tokens now. Sounds slightly sinister when I said that.
Do the natural
Sure,
leader
sure.
stretch, then they'll sort them out.
Okay, so that's Remley's go. With both of the creatures down, Gindris is then going to just sort of turn to you all and is going to shout,
Fire or acid? It's the only way.
Go for it.
Gindris can do fuck all apart from maintain this, so he's going to maintain this aura. And then Bothrid is currently raging. However, Bothrid is going to hear this. And what round are we on? Still within it. Okay. Bothrid is going to hear this and sort of actually use his bonus action to try and calm himself down. And I'm going to make him roll for that because it's the first time he's actually tried to come out of a rage mid
Nice.
battle. That will be enough, just for the 16. So he's going to calm down and then he is... What is he going to do? Not a lot. Because he can't do jack shit either. I really should have picked better spells for Bothrid today. Yes, okay. Bothrid is just going to calm his rage down then. He's going to calm his tits.
Calm your tits.
And is then going to reach in and pull out a tinderbox.
Cool.
That was my plan.
So that's Bothrid's go. However, B is then going to heal up slightly. Still bloodied.
Maybe I was attuned to my flame tongue rapier right now.
Drag itself forward another 5 feet anyway, just to try and get close to you, Dargon, and is going to swing at you. $13 is not going to hit.
Hunk of huck.
The second one, however, is a 30.
Bullshit.
28 points of slashing damage. And you notice these swings are just getting wilder and wilder as it's sort of swaying around on one leg. Sort of cuts into you once, and then the second one just is a wild swipe. That will
I've
be
already used
its
my
go.
reaction, haven't I?
Yes, you have for this round.
I have.
Then it is Ander.
I am thinking 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 35. No, I'm reading the tinderbox thing. If I'm lighting something that's abundantly in oil, I can use it as an action, but if I'm just trying to light a fire, it takes a minute, so I don't think I can actually use my tinderbox to set him on fire.
Not necessarily this round. You could use this round to do something to then prepare enough to be able to light the fire next round.
But what? If I knock him down, he's just going to get back up again before my next turn, and if I sneak up on him, he's going to... if I get up to him, he's going to know I'm there.
Get up again.
Unless I... Will casting slow on him make a difference? Because I won't be able to do anything. It's not going to stop him moving. I can't use whole person because they're not humanoids, they're giants. Ah! I will... Right, plan. I'm going to go invisible. I'm then gonna
Okay. And it goes invisible.
dash up behind him using a bonus action,
Okay.
and then he won't
Cunning
know
action
I'm
for
there,
that.
which means my next turn I can set him on fire because he won't know I'm there. Would that work? And if he doesn't know I'm there, I can put the little rag that's in the tinderbox like in his shoe and try and set it on fire while he's not looking.
It's going to take you a minute.
Alright. I will... Oh, I can't use an action anyway because I've already put my hood up. But I will use the hooded lantern that I stole from Dargon. There'll be some fuel in that one there. I can pour on him and set him on fire.
Potentially. We will see what happens.
I'm feeling like
Let's
that's going to be a
go.
no, but we'll see how it goes.
Dargon, over to you.
Yeah, hearing that acid or fire, not having anything that I have really, but knowing that I have a flask of oil in my inventory that I have been using to refill my hooded lantern, I shall use my action to get that out of my bag of holding and smash it
Bonus action.
over A.
Okay, that's your action, is to
Yeah.
smash it. So you just smash this oil on A as it's lying there down on the ground.
And I'll just say to someone, "Someone, light it on fire, for fuck's sake." And as my entire action doing that, I will, because A is currently incapacitated, move round 5... Oh, hang on a minute. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Bugger, I couldn't quite get around him as quick as I hoped. I will get round to B and be like, "Come on here, you bastard!" And just try and get him to come towards me as well.
Okay. An A.
I'm slightly hobbling at this point. I say slightly, quite badly.
That's okay. A is going to get some hit points back. A is... still frightened.
Thank God.
So A is going to swing at disadvantage for Remley first. Ooh, he's going to miss. He's going to swing at disadvantage
Swing and a miss.
for Bothrids. Yeah, that'll hit. Bothrid's not raging anymore. 37 points of slashing damage against Bothrid. Which is not good. Okay. With that, it is then brain. That's its go. Top of the round with Remley. Remley sort of now thinking, this thing's covered in oil. What can I do? What can he do? Does have a tinderbox. So he's literally going to drop the hammer on the floor, reach in, and pull out the tinderbox. In fact, he's going to drop both his shield and his hammer on the floor. Just drops them, and that's going to be his free action for now, because he's dropping them. He's not trying to stow them. Then going to reach in as bonus action, take out the tinderbox, action to then try and light. I'm going to make a roll for this. I'm going to make a survival roll.
Ah, no!
Ooh, that is a 21 on the survival roll. As A is lit on fire.
Good.
So,
Reading
Oil? Have
my
you got-
oil flask.
That's what
it
I'm
was
just trying to find.
5 points of fire damage per round for 2 rounds.
Nice. So
Yeah.
5 points of fire damage instantly to A. Cool. So that's that done.
Let's just have a look just to make sure if there's anything else. Hang on, sorry, because that was if it's going into an area. Target is covered in oil. If the target takes any fire damage before the roll dries after 1 minute, the target... Oh, right, sorry, no. My bad. That is actually for 1 minute, he will take 5 fire damage each round for a minute. Because it's on him, not on the floor. I read the wrong bit.
Yeah. That's fine. So it's now on fire and you can hear this sort of as it's burning. How many of these things we got left? How many have I got? So that is all the stars gone on Gendris's head. So with that, Gendris is going to step closer. 5, 10, 15. And it's just going to reach out a hand, which you see is sort of encased in ice at this point, but the ice is sort of... Dargon, you would recognise it as having a ghostly effect in that you've only seen in one place before. And it was a place you went with Kirek, and this finger is just going to attempt to touch. Which is just going to hit. Like magic number going to hit. And that is going to be 23 points of necrotic damage. And with that, A is finally gone. Still burning, but gone.
Yes!
That's A out of the picture.
Crackling anyone?
And then we'll come down one more. And he'll probably stop concentrating at that point.
I love the fact we
There's
can't
no
see
point.
Gindris anymore. It's just his 60-foot aura moves.
Yeah. Sort of stop concentrating on that, knowing that it's not having an effect on the other one. And then bonus action. What have we got left? Let's use a 7th level Cure Wounds on Grimly. That is going to be 35 points of health to Remley. Nicely done. And then B is just going to swing. He's going to swing at Ander as this newcomer. In fact, no, he's facing towards Bothrid. He's going to swing at Bothrid. I won't do that to you.
I'm invisible as well.
I've seen you anyway. That's going to miss. Gonna swing again. That one will hit. So the second hit on Bothrid is going to be 35 points of slashing damage. Bothrid is out, unconscious.
Oh no!
Knocked down. And the tinderbox just goes skittering across. Bothrid had plans. Bothrid can't use their plans. Did I skip someone? It should have been Bothrid to go first. So we'll reverse that briefly for a second. Sorry, apparently I totally skipped Bothrid to go. Losing track of my own encounter now. So, in the essence of time, Bothrid then is going to use a bonus action to become... when I can find it. Still can't find it. Taking far too long with this. that's the one. It's not what I wanted. However, Bothrid is going to become Ice Spider Queen.
Oh, why did you do that?
Just slots up to there as he becomes this ice spider. And then that's the bonus action to wild shape. Is it an action to wild shape? It might be an action now I think about it. One action. So he's used his action to wild shape. He's going to use a bonus action and expend a spell slot to heal up 1d8. So it's going to be 4 points of health. So that puts him at 39. So then the creature would have gone through its motions, and I'm just going to say, for the sake of brevity, so the first one miss, and then it's 35 points of damage to the Ice Spider Queen. And then... Come on, Matt, come on. Pin that, bring that down. 35 points of damage to the Ice Spider Queen. Leaves her not looking great. And with that, as Bothrid sort of... and then this axe comes down and chops into one of these spider legs. We are then over to Ander.
I will try and pour the remaining fuel that's in the hooded lantern onto the frost giant.
Okay, so I'll say you do, and as you do so, you begin to pour. It's not strictly an attack, but it is an action, so I'm going to say it does cause your invisibility to fail.
Okie doke.
Because you're doing something against it, and now notices where it feels like a dog is peeing up its leg, but you are just there chucking whatever oil is left onto this thing. That will be your action.
Yes, and then... No, I can't use that. And then I will use my bonus action to disengage. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Nicely done, so you back off.
Line it
And to you,
up
Dargon.
as I'm running away.
Do you know what I've just realised? I really wish that Dargon had lit a cigar this morning. How
This is a bit-
awesome
Not that
that'd be.
mechanic actually works, because it's not
I know,
quite
it's
the
complete
activation
bullshit,
engine.
but
We
it
won't
would
get into
still,
physics or
still be brilliant.
science there.
Yes, we know that a cigarette landing on petrol doesn't even light it.
Okay, Mr. Dargon, what are we doing?
With him being as covered as he is as possible, if I can use my action and my tinderbox to light B on fire.
Make me a survival check, please.
Shit, I forgot that particular thing. Okay. Where's my survival? Okay, that's probably one of my better ones. My god. Ah, fuck, 10.
10. No, you're there. And it's just not quite going. So, that one is definitely out.
Who'd have thought you'd do a bad conspiration on a survival check?
Yeah.
So then we are
And a
back
plus
around
5 as
to
well.
the top with Remley. And Remley's still got his tinderbox. 5, 10, 15, 20. He'll make a survival check. That'll do the job. Manages to light the oil. I'm assuming it's the same oil.
Yes.
That'll be 5 points of fire damage instantly on this round. Gindris is going to step up to Bothrid, and this time he's going to use another 7th level Cure Wounds in the last one. Touches Bothrid. That's going to be 23 points of health to Bothrid. Or at least the Ice Spider Queen. So that's the Ice Spider Queen healed up. And that will be Gindris. Bothrid is then in Ice Spider form. Going to attempt to bite. Ooh, that was shit. That's going to miss. It's going to be Bothrid to go. Bonus action spell slot health. One of them. One of them. One of them. One of them. Yay! Bothrid gets 2 points of health back.
Hey.
There we go. So up to 34 on the Ice Spider, and then we are around to B, who just going to heal up a little bit more. Ander. No, ignore me. What am I doing? Still gets his attack, even though it's there. So it's going to be. Who's he facing? It's going to be at the spider. That one's going to hit. And the second one is also going to hit. So it's going to be. Come on, dice. 34 on the first hit. 25 on the second, so that will be 59 points of damage.
I shall sentinel the second attack as well.
Okay, so your sentinel the second attack. Go for it.
Oh Jesus, 16 to hit.
Say again, sorry?
16 to hit.
16 will hit. I was just laughing at the chat.
As 13 points of damage.
13 points of damage. As things are beginning to get a bit desperate, as Bothrid and Ice Spider form, and I will say that as that blade cuts through the Ice Spider of Bothrid, Bothrid gets sort of buffeted back a little bit. No longer in Ice Spider form. Gets thrown back towards where Gindris is. Not looking good at all. Bothrid is literally sort of a bleeding mess at this point. As you then use that moment to just sort of stab Timiel's Wrath into the back of B. B is still standing, albeit barely. Ander, see us out.
Now being from a distance again, I will shoot this motherfucker with my arrow, using it. I usually aim to get advantage. Hopefully I'll get a natural 20 today. No! But 28 to hit will do.
28 is
Just
not
give me
bad.
good damage this time. 12 piercing damage. A sneak attack damage.
How would you like to do this?
Yes! I'm just going to go... Because it's not facing me, I'm just going to go through its neck from behind.
Nice. So as your first arrow sort of, or the first arrow you shot from behind it landed sort of in the base of the skull, the second one you aim that little bit lower and pull back, and while this fire burns and rages around it and seems to be spreading, the arrow just goes through the neck out the other side, and there's that moment where the great axe just drops to the floor and it's already on one knee and it just sort of blood just begins to pool around it. We are out of combat.
It's fucking hard when you've got no fire stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is. In that moment, Gindris is going to sort of look down on Bothrid. He's hurt. Let's get back inside the hall, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, you go. Right. I'll keep an eye on our back.
So you're all going to sort of retreat back in. I'll say you all are sort of Gindris. Bothrid, and I'll say Remley gave Bothrid a hand and Gindris a hand as well. Gets back to there. And where are you going? So
I'm going to
Gindris, Bothrid, and Remley have all got back to the door.
First.
So you go pick up some arrows. You'll get half of them back. Half of as many as you fired. Sorry. And Dargon, you're watching the back. One, two. Okay, as you retreat back, the snow is just sort of roiling around, and there's these corpses which are still blazing with fire and giving enough heat to sort of warm you up slightly. And it almost looks like there is a stir of arcane energy, but it settles itself as you retreat back into the hall. And I think that is where we will leave it for tonight, being a little bit over time. Just a little bit. Apologies for that. We had a fight to get through, but I hope you enjoyed it. Very different fight without a cleric. Very different fight without fire abilities. So yeah, thought I'd mix it up a little bit tonight and just see what happened without our cleric friend in the mix. But very much hope you enjoyed that episode. Obviously there was the big reveal right at the beginning, which I hope we did justice, because it was quite a pivotal moment in that part of the story, I suppose. So Samal will be away for one more week, and then we'll hopefully be rejoining the crew, providing he's well rested and enough, sort of not too tired that he can't play D&D. I'm sure he'll be back with a vengeance. But thank you everybody for joining. Thank you for interacting in the chat. It's been really amazing. Distracted me totally sometimes tonight, but it's been awesome. Thank you to my players as always. Don't forget to check out all the tools we've gone through right at the beginning. You've seen Incarnate and Owlbear Radio today with the map and sort of the map generation. You've seen the tokens from Hero Forge. I won't go any more about that. You've heard some of the sound effects from Battle Bards. With that, in an attempt to close rather quickly, so we can all go get some sleep, because I know my boys are tired and not feeling well. But thank you all once again for joining us. This has been episode 63 of Malt and Magic. We will see you next week for more action. See you then.